sir.
It's on me.
I told
Thank
him
you.
to stop
Okay.
using
Thanks
my
for joining us
microphone.
again on Time to Tabletop for Infinity Tower. We have more sound than that. We are ready for action.
I was drunk.
Hope you guys are
My
too.
defense.
Are we gonna play your camera? Just move again.
I'll talk an asshole.
I can just keep talking. I mean, I'm good either way. Okay. So we're gonna introduce people. Go around the table. Tonight, I'm playing Embers. Because Allison can't be here, so sorry, Allison.
Who's running the game?
I tore your character sheet. Real sorry about that.
He did it in a fit of rage. It was horrible.
A fit of not being able to pay attention to what I'm doing. Embers is a level 6 tiefling sorcerer. I
You can
totally
actually
had to
see
look
it
that
pretty
up.
well on camera.
What's that?
You can see Embers
We can
pretty
see
well
Embers
on
pretty
camera.
well on camera. I actually totally had to look up the fact that she's a tiefling sorcerer. Okay, so look forward to seeing her played by me. She's going to cast Fireball. That's it. Okay, Kat.
She's gonna Lena inverse that biz.
There you go.
I am Kat. I am playing a cat, a cat person, a tabaxi, named Aurora. She is a monk. She doesn't know how to cast Fireball, otherwise she'd probably do it.
Bangs of the Fire Snakes.
Yeah,
There
she
we go.
can't do that.
I'm Will. I'm playing Lieutenant Arvin Bly, a human cleric of the great god Palor.
Whoop whoop!
The sun is like a fireball.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah. So
there we
he's
go.
casting fire.
We're doing a lot of fireball.
Flames of the Phoenix at 11th level is when she can cast Fireball.
There we go.
And you know what? Pistols, little metal balls that are launched by fire.
Very
so
nice.
in a way, I'm doing fireballs too.
Excellent,
We all
yes.
have balls of fire tonight.
Awesome.
So happy to know that.
Yes.
I
Thanks
am
for taking it there.
I am. You're welcome. I am Sean. I am playing gnome gunslinger Theopraxis, and yeah, and I'm here and having fun.
Everybody's level 6 too, by the way.
Are
Just
we?
to make sure
We are.
Yeah, well, you were. Well, we'll see, right? Okay, stuff we gotta talk about.
Long way
I
We've
don't
got
think there are
seven.
any monsters that drain your XP anymore. There used to be, though.
Really not permanently. It's no fun anymore.
Oh, that would be
No.
awesome.
I don't need any XP.
Did
either.
anybody?
forgot
Did anybody
about
else
that.
ever? Yeah,
Hey, I'm level 6 over here tonight too, guys. So
that
I'm
happened
good.
a
Don't
lot
worry.
in like level in D&D version 2. You'd get your XP drained.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
did
that.
not like that. Okay, so we've got sponsors such as Ambient Realms. Check out ambientrealms.com for ambient sounds and effects for your games. They support Huntington's Disease Society of America and Autism Speaks. Yes, thank you. I had to enunciate. Some of their sounds are like this. Pleasant. Things like that. Or we could have a portal. Or maybe always a classic. Also, I like the magic missile. It's got a very pew pew. Yeah, that sounds good, right? So check out
Take
ambientrealms.com.
that, darkness.
That's right.
It's
Lots
a pew in
of
the dark.
lots of sounds for your games. It's all free on their website, or you can get a cool board and get all sorts of sound effects like we did. Also, Arknight, they do flat plastic minis, much like this guy. There's a guy. He's flat. Okay, so check them out at arknight.com. They have lots of flat plastic minis for your games and also maps. Adrenochrome.
Yes,
Yeah.
tomorrow night on Adrenochrome, getting you ready for the apocalypse. We are playing Blades in the Dark. It is actually a reunion of the D&D crew that I had for the Isola de Morte campaign, so I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to be getting up to shenanigans in Doskval. Tomorrow's going to be probably character creation, crew creation, and hopefully the first score.
Okay, now is this your first advertised time doing the MC role for Blades in the Dark?
This is my first time doing the MC role for
That is
Blades in the
awesome.
Dark, period. So I've done other types of D6 games, but this is my first time doing Blades
I know you got
specifically.
your DM, GM, MC cred for sure, but that's going to be cool. I hope
Yeah.
you have an awesome time.
I hope so too.
So yeah, and then on Thursday, New Trippers with Scooter. So I got to make sure I put this in because I went past the time and Kat probably already said it. Wednesday show is at 7. Thursday show, New Trippers, is at 6:30. So New Trippers, 6:30 for their shenanigans. Look forward to that. And then follow us. Well, let's go through all the stuff. Check us out at timetotabletop.com. Follow us on Twitch. Comment. Give us ideas. Hashtag Infinity Tower. Next Tuesday, we're not going to have an Infinity Tower show. Really sorry. My fault. But then Adrenochrome and New Trippers going on like normal. And the following week, everything will be back to the normal times.
Next Tuesday, don't worry. Just tell everyone you can see an Infinity Tower marathon on podcast.
What?
What?
Okay, that's the
I'll
first
make
time
that
I heard
happen.
that. That's pretty awesome.
I'll make
All right,
it-
thanks, Scoot.
I'll make that happen.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Marathon, is it safe? Yes. No. safer than it's ever been. I'll pull your teeth out.
It's like some lyrical poetry right there that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't prepared for that.
Or a brain tumor.
Yeah. I mean, lots
Or
of
just a
stuff.
reference to a Dustin Hoffman film. Take
So-
your pick.
Yeah, let's do our resolution from last game. 500 experience points across the board for everybody with last sessions. I don't recall actually giving you guys experience points last session. I think I've been bad about that the last two. So we've been doing them at the beginning instead.
I thought you did last time, but I will take 500 more.
Yeah, I'll take 500.
Well, you know, I have this handy spreadsheet. I can just check it for you.
Well, yeah, I think that handy spreadsheet is off a little bit.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't
In a positive or in a negative?
let's see here. Negative for us.
Yeah, we clearly had 500 more experience points.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
mean,
I
you
write
can
down
tell
the
by
number
word
of the
more.
session. This is why I write the word session above each one. So yes, I did award experience last session.
did.
Thank you guys. That
I
was
was-
so much
Almost
easier.
worked.
Yeah, too bad for my honesty.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. You're still ahead of everybody else, Kat. So there's at
That'll
least-
change. That'll change though because I will. Well, I'll still be ahead of you, but
I don't know. It depends on how much we go up on that session. That'll be the session where we fight like 2 dragons.
right.
Okay.
Like all beholders.
Oh, ooh, that's a good idea. I like that even better than.
Yeah,
Hey
can we
guys,
not do
new
beholders,
plan.
please?
Everybody dies.
Just so we're clear, at some point we're doing beholders. That's going to be so great. Okay, so we did the experience points. I will take that off of my agenda, but I am going to give a Triceratops to Will for taking care of Kutar last session, where he did not get killed or anything like that. So
Do I still have my lich?
Well, that was a
you
group
have your
effort,
lich.
but, thank you.
Inspiration is going to be session by session. So if you didn't burn it last session, you got to get a new one this session.
I'll erase that.
I know.
Sorry.
Beep.
All right, so with this pleasant bird track, previously on Infinity Tower, the party helped the patrons of the Night Watch recover after a riot that they had caused. They also learned more about the motivations of Kutar, the half-orc thief and member of the Eastkeep Military O Company. He actually ended up pretty much accompanying you the rest of the game as you're trying to keep him out of harm, because who knows what's going to happen if he turns himself in as a former thief. Yep, find out all about that someday. Learning more about Aylin's latest acquisition, which was what's the term I want to use?
Orb.
Well, it's more like, it's not really an orb. It's more like a,
It's an entity.
barrier. It's like a screen. No, not the translator. We're talking about the thing that she got.
Oh,
Yeah,
the thing
Aylin
she
has
got.
a Allurian barrier device that she had procured.
Evil one.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so after finding out about her latest acquisition, the party managed to find their way to a ruin in the north of Trajeria that appears dwarven and is very close to where the Tabaxi council seat is. While exploring the ruin, they found a massive stone construct, which is now facing them. So, I'll just put this computer away. Probably won't need that for a bit. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Right, it was a good plan. It was a good plan, but
When you
there's a
shut it,
whole-
it makes a
there's a
horrible,
computer thing
horrible,
that doesn't work
horrible
well when I
noise.
do that. But I can do this.
Yeah.
And then I can move everything over so that we can have some fun. We got this nice like construct footstep thing going there. So let's do this. Let's start with everybody rolling initiative. I'm gonna roll for embers. What could possibly go wrong?
Okay.
Boom. How'd everybody do?
16.
16. That's very nice.
I got a 9.
Okay. And how about Theophraxis?
21.
21. By the way, I think what I'm going to do is right now, I'm going to write an apology email to Allison.
What did you roll for her?
Oh, I rolled quite well, but I don't think there's going to be anything that I'm going to do that she's...
You're just gonna apologize ahead of time?
Yep, sorry in advance for my portrayal of Embers.
I've ruined some nice dream.
Okay, now that I've gotten that out of the way, we are up with Theophraxis. There is a giant stone thing. Okay.
So let me ask you real quick.
Yep.
With the hold action thing,
Yes.
do I get my 2 attacks on my action, or do I not get my 2
You
attacks?
only get one
If you,
attack.
if you hold your action and your action of attack, what did we end up deciding there?
Well, that's
Yeah.
why I'm
It has
asking
to
if you
be-
want to.
He only gets one.
If you hold, it's got to be one
So
action.
we're still gonna do that.
Yeah, we'll stick with that.
Okay.
Until
Unless
screw
we
it up.
change like the whole system, and it's the alternate system is very complicated.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay, all right. Let's
Probably.
make sure. What's that big thing?
That's that dice where you saw the dwarven glyph appear.
Oh, it's like seriously
couple
that
off.
big.
I'll take a couple off. How about that? It'll be a little shorter.
Darn it. Okay. big is the big guy?
Large. As a literal size. How about that?
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna take okay, I'm gonna go up on the dais,
Okay.
and it's rock, right? I mean, it's really obviously rock.
It is very obviously made of stone.
Okay, so I'm
It's
gonna.
also holding a giant axe, which is not depicted here according to our last session.
Oh, is it being threatening with the axe?
It hasn't had time to be threatening. The wall went shh, and the stone golem stepped out, and we cut the scene.
Okay, well, I'm gonna step up there. I'm gonna get out my war pick because pick rock. That sounds like it'll work.
Sure.
And I'll hold my action.
Okay.
And I'll say, "Are you friendly? We come in peace."
So your held action is to defend yourself if necessary?
You defend anybody if it gets aggressive.
All right.
I'm gonna pick it.
Got it. Do you like where you're positioned?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
cool.
pretty good. Yeah.
All right. So, Aurora, you were at 16, right?
Okay. She addresses the golem.
Yes. Okay.
Greeting, Guardian. Per the agreement between my illustrious ancestor, and this is in Dwarvish, obviously, between my illustrious ancestor, the Emperor Fang of the Winter Dragon, and your people, the King under the mountain, I entreat you to let us pass. For the deal that we made between my bloodline and the line of the dwarves is in perpetuity. And then she cuts scratches her palm open and puts the blood onto the dais.
Okay, onto the dice.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
Okay.
That was fancy.
Yeah.
Huh? We'll see how persuasion goes. That's actually not too bad. It's a 13, but maybe the blood is convincing.
Yep.
What is that?
I put it right where I saw the glyph of Guardian before.
Got it. So you're putting it on the actual glyph.
Yeah, so it registers. Her idea is that the ancient dwarven technology will register through the bond of iron and blood, based upon her knowledge of dwarvish history.
You want to?
Sure,
To do the persuasion roll.
You want to roll? Try and roll better.
yeah, I can try to do that with advantage. Should I just re-roll or just roll one more die?
Which one do you want to do?
I think I'd rather re-roll.
Let's do it.
Okay.
If Will's going to give up this advantage immediately in this game, we'll let you do it the way that's more fun for you.
Well, that is much better. That is a 19 on my persuasion.
Okay, and that's now the modified roll is 19. That's
Yes.
your total. Okay. Thank you. I do like a nice Triceratops. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Will.
So, you've touched your blood down on this sigil.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to go dark.
Okay.
Wow, it is way more ominous actually if I take that percussion.
Right.
That's cool. We'll keep that. So, you touch your hand down on this sigil. You see the blood start to suck into it a little bit. It goes dim. The golem, which is standing here, has not moved at all.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of all I can do in my action.
Yeah.
So it's up to... I mean, it's not attacking either,
Nope.
maybe.
You do feel like your hand is stuck in place.
Okay.
Okay, who's up next in the initiative? You have a 9, right? So Ember's at this point. She's, skilled in Arcana. She's gonna make a thing, see if the thing does anything. Yep, she's really good at Arcana. She looks at the creature and says, "It doesn't seem to be moving. But if it does, I'm going to be ready." And like a little ball of fire springs to life in her hands, and she looks like she's ready if something happens. The golem takes a step, pivots around, walks into this little niche in the wall where it started out, and the wall starts going.
I clap and cheer.
I do this.
That was awesome.
Thank you, friend. I say in Dwarvish. My hand might still be stuck. I don't know.
Still stuck.
How'd you do that?
There's a. I thought I explained it. Did I not? Did you not understand the
whole thing
Dwarvish?
that was actually real? You think? You weren't just sort of acting?
I mean, am I telling the truth about my ancestry?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Wow. Pretty cool.
I guess, if you enjoy being persecuted as traitors against the Tabaxi.
Oh, well, that's bad.
My hand is stuck.
What do you mean your hand is stuck?
I mean, I can't lift it back off of this thing.
Really? Tug on it.
Still stuck.
Is that like, does that come up a little bit, or is it like there's like stuck?
Her hand is stuck to the stump.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it would seem to be effective.
It was very effective.
On the other hand, now I'm stuck here. And the doors are all still closed, yeah.
Well, so you have this entranceway here that was open the entire time. That's never changed. So just this wall going up and down affected whether or not you could see the stone golem.
Gotcha.
Are there any more glyphs or markings?
No other glyphs or markings right now. There's this faint outline of words that are traced on the floor that went all the way around this pedestal, but that's it.
Would you mind releasing my hand, please, great ruler below the mountain? I say in Dwarvish. Which probably isn't effective.
Nothing yet.
Let me try. I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic.
Sure. Yeah, basically at this point you're just gonna roll.
Okay. 10.
10. Did you add your spell attack modifier?
I did not.
Or your yeah, that's the 10.
So
I was gonna
18.
say. 18? No. Your hand is not stuck.
Yay!
Yay. So did that door, did that open, at the same time the golem came out, or is that just...
This is the way you came into the room,
Oh, that's why we came
and
in.
it stayed this way the whole time.
Okay.
So the only door that opened was the golem door.
Yep. The wall went, golem showed up, and now it's gone, golem is gone.
Let's leave this place before anybody else gets stuck to this dais.
Yeah, if you recall, there were a total of 3 doors on each side on the way back here through the passage, and then it branched, and there was also a passage over to the right.
More doors.
All right, I'm gonna walk out.
Are we leaving? Or are we exploring?
Oh, I'm exploring. But
Alright. I'm gonna put my pick.
Mm-hmm. Embers is looking around. She seems to be just inspecting the magical markings on the floor, etc. She's going to take another look around in this room.
oh, okay.
She says, I want to take one more look and make sure that there's no traces of Aelin left behind. I looked before, but I need to look again.
I can translate what the dwarven runes say on the floor for you if you want, or you can hold on to Silver, who would probably be helpful. They just look like dwarvish gobbledygook to me because I don't understand arcane spellcasting.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay, so I'll hand
So,
her Silver.
She takes Silver, and she's walking around, and she's nodding in her head. I don't think anything here is from when Aelin was here. She's kind of looked around, walked the perimeter of the room. I can't find any traces of her passing.
This is still the room that had her sent, though.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was basically a straight line up and a straight line back.
So she took something out of this room.
Well, there had to be something on that dais before.
Yeah. That's what she took, but
But
I can make a history roll to see if I do know something about these dwarves and anything that they'd have down here, but I mean, it
You
seems
can try.
really
Sure,
unlikely.
you can try.
No.
Okay.
I don't know anything about traps or arcane magic, but why would this be open? And obviously, whatever was on this dais guarded so well when there's doors on the other ones. And why didn't it go off when Aelin was in here? Why
Aelin
was
is a
it
master
frozen?
thief. If there's any chance she could have gotten in here and gotten out untouched, chances are these runes on the floor were an active magical barrier before she arrived.
Now, I don't know if what I said to it, and you don't know what I said to it because I said it in Dwarvish, but I don't know if what I said to it made a difference, or if it was just I happened to trip onto the mechanism, but...
Well, and we don't know what was actually here. Right, we have no idea what was here.
Not without some way of traveling back in time.
So, why don't we check the other rooms? Maybe that'll give us an idea of what might have been there.
Okay.
I mean, like, if we find a bunch of armor, maybe we can assume it's armor. Or if we find a bunch of weapons, maybe we can assume it was a weapon of some kind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So I guess we're going to start exploring other rooms.
Okay. So you're heading down this way. You've got 3 doors that are shaped, let's do the non-barred ones, like this. On this side, yes, of course I picked the warp one. And then a similar number on the other side. And they're spaced evenly. So they're all in line with one another like this. I'm just keeping this real, what's the term, easygoing in terms of our visuals so that way it doesn't obstruct your view. But you've got these 3 on this side, 3 on this side like this. As you look over here on this side of the room, this entire side of the building has been caved in. And all of these rooms are buried to the point where there's rubble sticking through into the doorway. So these doors are pretty much out.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any like runes or anything around the door jams?
So looking around, there are, but they're all very simple runes. They look like maybe they're like simple charms, you know, like you would write like hearth and home and things like that on the doors. But nothing that seems to be particularly important or interesting. So looking over here to the other side, this first room, it's the same thing. You have a really small passageway that's been caved in.
Does it look recent or old?
Well, go ahead and take a look. You are good at finding out stuff like that.
Okay.
You're going to be rolling, let's say, a history check for you. Unless you have an appropriate skill proficiency you'd rather use.
Let's see here. History of intelligence.
I could see an argument for
22?
22? Okay. Sounds pretty good. You were going to say you see an argument for...
I could see an argument also for survival, since like
You
landslides.
could be trying to
and
see
stuff.
if there were piles of things on top of other things
Yeah.
and so forth. Yeah, that's possible. So in this case for Theophraxis, so I think what he's
Yeah.
really relying on
Probably
is...
going to be history.
Well, he's probably relying on his knowledge of
Stonework,
underground
yeah,
systems and
that
things
kind
like
of stuff,
that. And this is, you know, burrow-ish, right?
Yeah.
So this is a heavily compacted, like, cave-in.
Mhm.
To you, it looks purposeful. Like this room was caved in, not like this room fell in. Because the rest of the surrounding stonework all around here in these passageways, you don't see signs of stress. You don't see any reason to think that a room would fall down. But both this side and this room all look like they have been purposely caved in.
And is it recently or?
No, you'd say it's probably been a couple hundred years.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no
so
dust or...
these look like they were purposely caved in a long time ago.
I say in Dwarvish to you, my ancestors lost contact with these dwarves a very, very long time ago. It has a lot to do with why the Tabaxi have a democracy now.
Okay. So could they have maybe done this?
Or something else did it.
For as easy as it was to get in here, to find passageways purposely done, but purposely collapsed like that, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's almost as if someone was sealing themselves inside.
I'm
That's
sorry.
possible.
Yeah, you didn't know what I was saying in Dwarvish. Let me explain. I believe that this was done on purpose.
Oh,
A very, very long time ago. But why or who, if it was an internal dwarvish fight and they collapsed the tunnels to the outside world, I don't know. All I know is that our contact with these dwarves ended, and it wasn't because we wanted it to end.
So is there any way to go move past the rubble, or is the passageway completely blocked?
Go ahead and make a check. This is, again, like trying to decide on your part, and this part, you can go ahead and use history for again.
Yeah, 26.
Okay. If you shift this rubble, you are pretty sure you're going to find this entire passageway or room or whatever this is fully blocked off.
Okay.
It is very thoroughly collapsed.
Okay.
So I'm guessing the next few that we go to are also going to be collapsed.
Now,
Check
I want to
'em.
run a game for you guys. I mean, yeah, you're gonna go down here and look at this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll follow
So-
along.
Embers kind of palms you the translator, hands it to you. Do you want to know what they're saying when they're speaking Dwarvish?
Well, I understood him. I just didn't.
By the way, Ember speaks Dwarvish now. Sorry, Allison. So. I
Does she look sicker or maybe weaker than she did, 5 minutes
Great
ago?
question. Yes, but we'll deal with that later at some other fine point. All right, and I'm kind of
She
hoping
still
she's
didn't
watching.
hear the speech that I made, though, because she didn't have the translator at that point.
I could always retcon that. She had that thing for hours, but that's fine.
That's true.
I'm not going to do that. Okay, this room is not fully collapsed. You can see some signs of rubble over here to the side, but this room is somewhat intact. It is also the room that actually has a barred gate, too.
Okay.
I'm gonna examine it for traps and stuff.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm going to go look at the next door.
So you're doing this as a perception check, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because we've decided, I think at this point, that's definitely our looking for traps thing.
Unless it's a magical trap, in which case it's investigation.
Yeah,
Well,
12. You don't see any signs of traps, which is the best way for anyone to ever describe how traps appear in a game.
I know, right?
I have a 20.
Ooh.
Okay, all right, you also do not see any signs of traps.
That's good.
Not that we have any way of opening it.
Well, I'm gonna tug on the bars a little bit to see if they. What are the bars made out of? You said it's
Metal.
barred, right?
Yes.
If I see him going to tug on it, I kind of do this.
Yeah.
You notice how there's a bunch of collapsed things? Physical force is probably not the best way to go about this, yes?
Well, that collapse wasn't. It could be rigged to do that, yes. But those other collapses seem purposeful in a different way. But I mean, you're right. I mean,
I'm
you're
just
right.
saying, before using physical force, examine other ways of doing things.
Yeah, well, I was just checking.
That's wisdom. I move on to the next one and see if it's collapsed too.
Okay, the third one is collapsed. So
Okay.
as you move down this way, yes, another chamber has been collapsed like
Okay.
this.
So this is the only uncollapsed chamber.
Correct. I'm lazy. I'm sorry, guys.
No.
I still have that other branch.
By the way, I didn't roll for damage on when I cut my hand.
Oh,
which
yeah, there's
is
another
kind of
branch.
cheesing out.
Would you like to take more than 1 point of damage?
No.
How about 1 point of damage?
Okay.
So, do we want to go look at the other branches first, and then come back to this one, or I mean, what would we do?
Were there other branches too?
So you have this
So,
whole
like-
left side of the corridor, but
Yeah.
the main corridor that went out to the entranceway had
Yeah.
a right-hand side.
Okay. So there was like another path to go down
Correct. There was a different direction you did not initially go.
to.
Why don't we just break down this gate right now? We can look at what's in there, and that way we don't have to go back and forth over and over again. What if we reset that golem and then it comes back after us?
I'm for it.
Are we? I really don't think trying to bust it down is the right way of going
Yeah,
about
is there
it.
like an easy way to dismantle it
You can
using my tinkering or
go
my
ahead
smithing
and
or
go ahead and
whatnot?
check out it with a smithing check roll. See if you can come up with some good ways. It's not really important to me because I'm pretty sure Aelin didn't go in there, but there might be something that tells us about what this room is. So that's
Do you know how to
Empress.
pick locks? You
Intelligence?
apprenticed with a thief.
I could pick locks, but I don't see a lock. It's just a gate. You remember that we found that entire previous in Tol Kazan, everything was just gates, and everything was like mechanical winches. It didn't have
True.
locking mechanisms to
Right.
it.
So, what do we add to this? Intelligence or wisdom? Or what?
Are you thinking about this as an intelligence type thing, or are
yeah,
you trying
like,
to do
like,
this?
like a problem to kind
Yeah,
of solve.
that's fine.
What's the best way? Okay,
Let's do that.
So then it's going to be 9 plus 13.
Okay. If you want to spend enough time, you could probably saw out each of these bars individually and just remove them from this gate.
That'll express that.
I'm digging in my bag right now for the medallions from the other dwarven.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
good
yeah.
call.
Because I do have those.
Yeah.
So I take those out. And,
Okay. And you present both of them to this bar gate.
Yeah.
You have a feeling of like a slight resonance.
Mhm.
Like you're getting the feeling that this would be the right thing, but it's probably not the right set of keys.
Right.
But there is definitely like a sense of harmony to how
Right.
things work.
So like when you put the wrong key in a lock, like you
Yeah.
know that this is the right way to open it, you just don't have the right key for it.
Mhm. But yeah, you have a feeling that you understand how dwarven mechanisms work in this case.
I mean, is there anything in that room?
If you're just going to spot through it,
Yeah,
it looks like a fairly empty room, but so did the other room, really. So, you know, there
there's
could
like
be...
no passages or anything like that.
No,
leading
but
up.
it's pretty dusty because this wall looks like this was actually kind of an accidental collapse from the other room. And so there is a lot of dust obscuring a lot of things. You can't see the floor very well. You can't tell what sort of features there might be on the wall if you were to clean it off. So if you're really concerned about this as a historical site, there's possibly some things there.
I am gonna try one more thing because my hand is still bleeding because
Okay.
it didn't happen that long ago.
Yep.
I put my hand like next to the gate and say, "In the pact between your people and mine, open this gate."
Okay. This time it doesn't have any effect.
Okay. It's worth a shot.
It was worth a shot. That would have been nice if it worked.
And there's like no obvious footprints or anything, so we know that what's her face wasn't through here.
Aelin doesn't seem to have passed through this gate as far as you can tell.
I mean, if you think that you can saw through these bars,
Well, I don't know if it's
worth it?
worth it. Yeah, I mean, looking at it, it's just a room.
Do we want to just rip it out?
I'm very worried about ripping it out that it'll cause a bigger collapse.
Does it look like that'll happen?
You can, again, make one more check on it if you want. Did we already have a check on that? We had the other room, but not this room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it more fun having to make a check on everything?
It is.
That's what D&D is all about.
23.
Okay. You have like a small concern that it might happen. But it's probably like to you, it's like a 20% possibility.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a possibility that something might happen, but I mean, if you want to risk it,
I'm
it might be
more
worth the
I'm more
risk.
worried of it causing a chain reaction than we're all buried under rubble.
Based on the way the ceilings and things like that look in this room, you're not as concerned about that.
Yeah, I mean, unless they've done something on purpose, like loaded it with explosives or something, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, all the other collapses in here look like they are room specific. So it looks like that's more likely to be what you would see.
Okay, so we want in, right?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, if somebody had a spell to open doors.
Should I just open the door?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, Amber
step
positions
away.
herself in front of the door, and she like thrusts her hands up in the air, and this big stone hand comes out of the floor, grabs the gate, and just rips all the bars out.
Oh,
Which is a clever use of Macmillion's Earthen Grasp, as far as I'm concerned. Good job, Allison. We'll do that.
yay!
And now we have a nice broken open gate, and there is a little bit of crumbling in the stone archway, but
Looks good.
does not look like it's about to fall on your head.
Yeah, looks okay. You can go in.
I'll cautiously go in, making perception that I don't trip on anything.
Oh yeah, perception.
Okay, perceptions. Yep.
Man, perception the shit out of that room.
I
yes,
rolled a 1.
natural 20.
Okay, cool,
So-
cool.
Well,
Well,
perception the shit out
don't
of
worry,
that room.
Theophraxis says you covered this time. So you're looking around. This room is really dusty, really dirty. This whole wall collapsed, and it's a very unclean collapse where it looks like whatever the structural wall was between these two rooms.
Accidental.
Yeah, like there was just too much load. So you can tell this next room is absolutely full of stone because it's spilling out into this room. But it looks fairly stable to you.
Okay.
This wall over here is also showing signs of structural buckling, but for whatever reason, this room's okay.
Okay.
To get a bit more light in here, she goes like that, and like a little fire lights up at the end of her finger.
Okay, very good.
Just because it's better to have light even with dark vision.
Sure. Agreed. So you guys are lit up. You can see what's going on in here. Again, everything has a pretty heavy layer of dust and dirt on it at this point, and your tracks are fresh right on top of everything.
Okay. I'm more looking for like secret passages or anything like that. But he's probably a better person for looking for secret passages since that is investigation.
So you want to make an investigation check on the room, Theophraxis?
Yeah,
and then
sure.
Ember says, should we look on the floor and see if there are runes on the floor?
Sure.
Also a good idea. I'll look for a trap. Or look for secret doors.
Okay. And she's doing like small gusts of magic to clear the dust into the corners of the room.
So it doesn't hurt to try to do an investigation check. Nope.
Did your awe mean that you didn't do well on
I got
investigation?
11.
Okay, all right. Marvin, how's it going out there in the hallway?
It's kind of dark.
Okay. Yeah.
Come to the light.
Cast light on my shield.
Okay. So
then
yeah,
walk in.
between the two of you, it's very bright in here now.
Yeah, when he walks in, I just go. I don't even need to do that, but it's just for dramatic.
Sounds
effect.
cool, right? So you're all in here. It's pretty well lit up. So on the floor, there are just, there's like little traces of dwarven sigilry here and there, but it's like, these look like name and hearth runes and so forth, just like the kind of things you would see in any typical dwarven construction. They're like things that anchor the place and that make it feel like it's a part of the society. And you would see them done like certain ways where you could tell like this room is part of the structure. So all these things kind of match up.
Does it feel like a tomb? Does it feel like...
No, this doesn't feel like a tomb at all.
Does it feel like the entryway, the guest room? I mean, what's sort of the feeling that we're getting off of sort of the purpose of this?
Right here, you get the feeling this room is probably some sort of like a restricted access room, and it feels like this whole setup that you're in up above is like a waiting room or like a guest wing or something like that.
Okay. So, if there's nothing here, maybe we should go at least look at the other place. Maybe not be so destructive.
Sure.
I don't know.
Aurora dashes off.
Okay, Embers is going to take another look around the room. Aurora's dashed off.
I'm gonna look too.
Yep.
Yeah, because
I rolled a natural 20.
Did you? Well, I was going to have Embers be the good looking at stuff person, but you can be the good looking at stuff person. Everything in the room is decorated pretty much the same way. But when you're looking at like some of these stone reliefs of glyphs and so forth, some of these glyphs seem like they are sunken into the wall more deeply and with like more effect than others. So as you're like putting your hands on this wall, you notice that some of these glyphs actually push in, and you hear the wall so you can go and does that.
Guys, I just did a thing.
I'll come back.
You come back, and this time there is another small room just beyond here like this.
Cool.
Okay, like my first.
No problem.
Just make sure you don't step on any traps.
Yeah.
No problem.
So you make a perception roll? Is that
No,
what
that's
you're doing?
medicine.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so 21.
21. You see no traps.
It's clear.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
this
go
room,
in.
again, there's a lot of these little like hearth and home markings on the floor. This room has no structural damage, no dust, anything like that. But what you do find is there's a small like stone shelf over here, and it does seem to have some dwarven objects.
I'm
Ooh.
gonna examine those.
Aurora goes right up to those real fast.
Who doesn't want to examine those? Is there anybody who's not interested in examining dwarven artifacts?
Oh, that would be me. I'm gonna leave.
Okay, cool.
He just wanted to, where did the light go?
So there is a short rod. It is just a rod that's about this long. It is made of some sort of whitish metal.
Does it look the rod of commanding that we found in here?
Not at all. It looks totally different and very boring by comparison.
Oh.
But it is just a flat white metal rod.
Do you mind if I take this?
Well, what else is there?
There is another, what looks kind of like an amulet. It may not be quite fancy enough to be an amulet.
I definitely want the amulet and the rod.
Don't remember what they do. Okay, before you lift them, at least let's look around. On
They're
the shelf.
dwarvish, so I want them.
Sure, I get that, but let's look around.
You
and make
understand, I want them more than you.
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
But do you want them more than like I don't know, a random spike shooting on the wall and spilling your brains all over the floor?
She probably does want more than that.
Yeah,
I would have
probably.
to say.
At least let's look around first before we grab these things. Make sure there's no trap on them.
I
Okay.
already said there weren't any traps.
Does that count for the?
Well, yeah, clearly there's no traps apart
Well, I
from this.
mean,
There's no
I'll
traps.
look and see if there are any traps attached to taking these objects.
Sure, go ahead. There is finally a large lapis lazuli gem. Like a large, like cut blue gem. It's kind of spherical.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah, same thing. You see as many traps as Arvin saw.
Awesome.
Has somebody got a DMG over there they can pass me? It's all the way on the shelf, probably. Not all D&D content is unlocked on D&D Beyond. Thank you.
No.
Much appreciated. Okay, so you guys have all the stuff that you now know about.
Okay, so I take the rod, the lapis lazuli gem, and the...
Wow, you're grabbing all three.
Yes.
I mean, they're all clearly for Aurora, we're finding out, right? So you have found three things.
Yes.
It's a good thing there are 4 of you, and it's good.
Well, I don't know what any of them do yet, other than that they're dwarvish.
Right. There are those things.
There's a medallion, right?
There is a amulet, medallion,
Amulet.
something like that. Right.
Okay, I'm putting on the amulet.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty convinced that this might be one of those keys.
You put on the amulet.
Yeah.
Very good.
And then, actually, I'll not write that in the bag of holding because it's not in the bag of holding. And there's a lapis lazuli gem.
That's right.
Okay, that goes in the bag. Well, actually, can you detect magic?
Yeah.
Can you see if any of these are magical? They might be useful for our
Okay.
purposes.
You want to give me 10 minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
They are all magical.
These are all magical.
Okay.
Good to know.
We don't know what any of them do.
No.
True.
Okay. Here, I know you like sparkly things. I hand you the lapis lazuli gem.
Actually, I'm more interested in rod.
Oh, okay, great. Here's the rod.
Okay.
In rod we trust.
Nice.
There you go.
And
I've got the amulet. Do you want to hold on to the mystery gem?
Okay.
We'll find out what they all do.
Yep. Turning the rod over in your hands, by the way, Theophraxis, you do detect that there is a actual physical button upon it.
Ooh, my. Cool.
So there's that.
There's a button on this.
Press it.
Not with everyone in a little tiny room like this.
Totally over.
Go into the hallway and press it.
Buttons aren't toys.
Pointed at the golem room.
I'll press it.
I tell you what doesn't everyone just kind of step out of this room and I'll press the button and see what
Wait, is there anything else in this room before we do something that might potentially destroy the room?
Nope, just some general, like, small markings here and there. Otherwise, it's a fairly clean, plain room.
Yeah, you can step outside. Just be on the other side. I mean, just in case something
Okay,
weird
I step
happens.
out of the room.
All right.
Okay.
I click the button.
You have clicked the button.
I want to be facing. This way. I want to be facing that way. That way, I can run backwards out of the room if I have to.
Okay. You click the button. You are facing that way in the room.
Anything happen?
Nope.
I'll shake it.
Okay, you can't, actually. You click the button and you go to shake the rod, and the rod does not move at all.
Hey guys,
Yes?
I can't move it.
Is it an immovable rod?
I think so.
Press the button again, see if you can move it.
Click.
Yeah, it moves now.
Oh yeah. I've heard about these. I'm gonna assume with my plus 10 on my history
And
magic
Arcana
item
and so forth,
thing.
sure.
Yeah. Cool. I like this.
So we know what that one does.
Yeah.
So now we've got this stone that we don't know what it does.
True.
And we have this amulet that we don't know what
You
it
guys
does.
want to spend some time concentrating on it?
If any of us need a rest,
I mean, we already know that What's-Her-Face ran away.
All right.
we lost time too.
We'll lose time.
What's more?
Okay.
Or we'll take an hour. I don't really have any key that I need back, but... meh. Can I just, roll my medicine check to, heal my 1 point of damage?
No, you can just heal your 1 point damage. I think with it being 1 point of damage, you can say you healed that in your short rest.
Okay.
You don't even have to roll for hit dice.
Do you want me to spend a hit die, or...
Do you really feel like you need to spend a hit die?
Not really.
Alright, I'm really not going to be that mean today.
Okay.
I reserve that for a future game.
Use your hit die.
Come on, seriously, thing. That's just ridiculous. Okay, that's fine. Even the thing game, it's fine. I may be slightly changing that gem to being a different color gem. That's about it. Just to make my life a lot easier.
But I like the color blue.
So what are
I
these...
like blue.
So
Alright, I'll
what
stay
now?
blue. That's
What-
fine. I can stay blue and do what I want to do. That's fine.
What do these things do?
Okay, so we have a immovable rod, which everybody figured out already because you guys are terrible metagamers.
I wasn't even trying to metagame. I just said a movable rod because it was a rod that wasn't moving.
No, that's fine. You have a periaptive health.
I do?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's the thing. It's a periaptive health.
What's the
Periaptive
periaptive health
health?
do
It
again?
makes you immune to disease. The most
Okay.
useful of all monk abilities. You are immune to contracting any disease while you wear this pendant. If you are already infected with a disease, the effects of the disease are suppressed while you wear the pendant.
Isn't that the same thing that Faxburn's necklace did?
Faxburn's necklace.
It's something to do with diseases.
Also, I believe.
Or
I
was
think.
it breathing? It had something to do with breathing.
Yeah, I think that was a different one. I think that
Okay.
was the other thing. I think it was the amulet of having air where you don't have air kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'll look up the name of that as we go.
That's a great
and we have a
amulet.
gem of brightness.
Ooh.
What's it?
Yeah, amulet of health is what you're thinking of. No, that's not it. That's the thing that raises your con score. It
Oh
may
yeah, I
very
would have
well-
worn that.
Yeah,
And
it may very
does
well
it-
be the exact
The
same
periaptive
thing.
health requires attunement, right?
I am going to be looking at it again. 2 seconds here. I can only type so fast. Periaptive health does not require attunement.
Ooh.
And gem of brightness.
It's perfect.
The gem of brightness has 50 charges. It's prism. While you are holding it, you can use an action to speak one of 3 command words to cause the following effects. The first causes to shed bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. Does not require a charge. Lasts until you use a bonus action to repeal the command word, or until you use another function. Number 2, for 1 charge, cause the gem to fire a brilliant beam of light at 1 creature. They have to succeed on a check or be blinded. Range is 60 feet. And the third command word is 5 charges, causes the gem to flare with blinding light in a 30-foot cone. And then all the creatures in that cone have to make a saving throw against being blinded. It's a
Well,
blinding
That
spell.
totally
That's
sounds
the-
like
Stone of
Paylor.
blinded.
That seems like that's your thing.
Yeah, it's a
So-
Paylor everything written all over it.
It's a bluish blinding light. That's about the only downside for it.
Okay.
So there you go. Stone of blinding things.
That's awesome.
So that's what you guys found. Hope you all feel good about that. And if not,
Very good about that.
that's good. That's good.
So you have the immovable rod. Can I
I mean, I feel kind of bad.
can I
unless-
suggest a
unless,
switch
unless she wants it. What?
between you and I, between the immovable rod and the periaptive health? I will eventually be immune to all diseases anyway.
Sure.
So this thing has a very limited shelf life for me. That will be very useful for me immediately.
Okay, sure.
Because let me show you something I can do with it. If I may.
Yeah, sure.
So I give you the periaptive health. And I'm going to do some acrobatics with it to show like how I can basically use this to go flip, move, and like pretty much like climb to a ceiling that way.
Yeah.
I was thinking that kind of stuff myself.
Yeah. Pro side, she can always throw a rope down. Yeah. That kind of stuff when you guys need to move places. Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. Do you want me to keep yours light?
Yeah, I'm fine for now, unless somebody else feels like they need it.
So you're immune to disease now.
The periaptive health.
Periaptive health.
So I'm gonna be not knowing how to spell that.
Periapt.
I can guess. I guess periapt.
Yeah.
Like it sounds.
Periapt.
Exactly how.
Do you need me to spell health?
Nope.
All right. Just making sure. You know, while being as condescending as humanly possible.
That's awesome.
I tried.
That's great.
It just seems like the immovable rod would be really, really useful for Aurora.
I think it's one of the general utility items that many of you can make good use of.
True.
Yeah.
We can like trade it off.
That's what I was
Very
thinking.
true. That does not require attunement. Neither does a periapt.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you have a disease, does it cure the disease?
Yes. Well, it suppresses it while you're wearing it, but then you still are diseased. But the good news is none of these 3 items at all require you to have any attunement.
Okay. Well, it turns out Allison wants.
I just feel like
we can
you're-
give it to her.
No offense to you, but you're more likely to contract a disease than I do.
I don't know if that's true or not.
It's kind of 50-50, really.
It really is, actually.
You licked a translator. last
Yeah,
night.
I'm go around licking random objects.
Yes, but I can go around licking random objects. I can also eat rotten meat.
Yeah.
Point and counterpoint. There we go. All right. So, Embers has been kind of
it's
scanning
just a
around the room this whole
garbage
time while you've all been waiting and attuning to magic items. All right. I don't think this room has any other secrets to unveil.
Okay.
Are we ready to move on?
Sure.
Yes.
So, I take it you'll be going that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll wear this necklace for now. If it turns out that Allison wants it, I'll just give it to her.
Cool.
Or
Right
Allison.
now, Embers is showing no particular preference for the necklace.
I feel like the one person that really doesn't need it is Arvin because he can just learn to cure diseases
Yeah.
any old freaking time he feels
Listen,
like.
it come down to one of us, and I feel bad that I don't think Embers has very good magic items. I don't want to hog all the
She
magic
has a
items.
wand of magic missiles and boots of frost resistance,
That's
a
true,
circle
she
of
has that.
scorching
Okay.
ray.
Yeah, she's got.
She's got a few. Okay, I don't feel
Yeah,
bad.
Aurora's the one that keeps getting rid of her magic items every
Okay,
time she
yeah,
gets
yeah.
one. Although she does have her rig of protection, and now a movable rod, and a bag of holding.
Guys, make sure.
I have chainmail.
Yes. That
Then
is
you
true.
should have the. Then you should have the necklace.
You had a wand and you gave it away.
No.
He doesn't need the necklace though.
You don't
That's
need
the
a
thing
necklace,
about it.
man.
Is like he can go like Paylor. I don't want to have no more disease. Thanks. Oh, I high five the sun. Why did? Oh, it hurts so much.
Why did I high five the sun?
You know what?
It wasn't
It's
the
worth
best
it.
idea.
It's the best idea. Period. It is on record. It's the
Aurora
best
was
My
idea.
hand is gone.
Aurora was really hoping
Worth
the
it.
amulet was one of those
Worth
door openers, and when it wasn't, she instantly lost interest in it
It's good stuff.
because that's how she is.
All right. Oh, that's
Article
fancy,
to
fancy.
scale. Excellent.
Nice.
Yes, well,
Yes. Now this looks like one of those doors that would open.
you all have been near a door like this before. Okay, so we're gonna go. We'll just assume members in the back, watching everybody, making sure
Yeah,
they don't get
this is one of
firewalled.
those crypts for a king.
It looks similar, like someone didn't have time to craft a whole bunch of different particular dwarven passageways. But what you are seeing when you walk up towards it is, while it displays a lot of the same markers as the King's Crypt in Talkazad, it's very high up elevation-wise compared with that. And looking beyond into the space back here, there seems to be like a descending staircase. So this seems to be, according to the runes you're reading and the way you're seeing it, like the actual entrance into the proper city. This city is called Mardrakot, the Mountain Home, which is definitely a name you remember from your Tabaxi dwarf lore. It is probably the original city the Tabaxi first dealt with the dwarves in. Thump,
Oh, now Aurora's dead.
rocks fall.
Poor construction.
Oh, you know. You can do it next time.
They were the dwarves.
You can show me how it's done.
the dwarves were cutting corners.
I'm in charge of the dwarves too, so either way, you know.
We weren't in person. They
Aurora
worked
puts her
really hard.
hand against the gate and starts crying.
You put your hand against the gate and you start firing. Got it?
Aurora.
What's going on?
I found it.
What?
It's the entrance to how is it? Mardrakot?
Mardrakot.
Mardrakot.
Okay.
Is this some significance to you? You mentioned something about a pact.
Did I mention that to you?
Well, okay.
Oh, Silver told you. Okay. Yes, this is where the dwarves that my ancestors had to deal with. Our oldest allies before your people came.
But you're not allies now, you said.
Well, they disappeared.
They just wait. I don't know. I'm not following. You were allies with them up until we appeared.
Your people appeared. Not specifically your people, but the ones before you. God, I can never remember her name.
Futuria?
Futuria's people.
Oh,
And then the dwarves disappeared after her people showed up.
At about the same time. Which caused my ancestors to lose their tactical edge over the lions, etc.
So you guys were allies.
My ancestors were allies with the dwarves. The dwarves provided us weapons to keep Trageria at peace. When the dwarves stopped providing us weapons, the despoilers of the earth arrived. which was prophesied. And now we're entering the years of utter destruction. If you're to believe the prophecies, which I do.
So, do you know anything about the city then? Where we are?
I mean, I probably know bits and pieces about it. I know that if I can find a similar key to what we had at Tolkazad, I could open that gate.
Is this where we want to go? Or are we still trying to track down Aelin?
To be honest with you, your quest for Aelin has nothing to do with me. This is what I've been looking for.
Well, I mean, we're going to be able to find her now, or do we want to...
She does have a very powerful magical item that she may or may not be handing off to somebody within your home. It's...
My main question is, what can we even do to stop her? She swatted us like flies earlier. We're not powerful enough to do anything about her. But maybe what's in here, considering they had weapons powerful enough to stop your people from crossing the sea.
At this point, Ember says, I'm interested in what's here too. And with Aelin, my main goal isn't just to stop her, but I want to know what she's doing. And with the very least, we can always try to find what she's done. She's not to be taken lightly. She could do things that would reshape how this entire world works.
But this is another gate that's not going to open without finding the right key. So let's look.
Are we
Yes?
sure?
Yeah.
I say open in Dwarvish to it.
As you approach this gate too, you have a palpable feeling of cold. And despite the fact that you can see those stairs descending, there is a darkness. Almost like a mist, but really just a physical darkness that approaches and kind of presses against these bars. You can feel that it's being held back, but it doesn't feel like it's being held back by much.
Is it that same sort of darkness that was in the crypt?
It feels very much like what you felt in Tolkazad. And as you're bringing your hands like even close to this, there's like this bluish arcane fire that races down the bars, and you can see it's like the darkness is trying to push through it, like it's pushing up against the bars, and this fire is all that's keeping it back.
Maybe we don't go there.
Not yet.
As we're looking at it more, to you this does not feel like an arcane magical effect. This definitely feels like a divine source of magic.
Can I tell if it's like an evil or...
Sure, make a religion check.
11.
11. To you, this definitely does not feel evil. The force behind it absolutely feels evil.
Something... Whatever that darkness is, it will need to be cleansed.
Please note the giant anvil on top, the symbol of Moradin. So, if something is protecting it, probably from the Dwarven priesthood.
This is the same anvil that they had in the other city.
It seems very prominently displayed in a very similar way, almost as if made by exactly the same crafter for exactly the same tiles.
Okay, well, given that, I'm going to go over to that doorway then and see if there's another one of those gigantic anvil statue things that were in the other place.
You're going to which doorway? This doorway or that doorway?
Oh, there's one over there too.
Yeah. So sorry, this is a table.
The one that I can see.
The one that you can see is a great choice, thanks, Sean. It makes life a lot simpler. So you go in here, and you're in what seems to you to be like an outfitting station. This looks a lot like being at the burrow back home, because the walls have, at your height, shelves that look like all the way around. Like you could see it being axe, shield, helm, axe, shield, helm.
Yeah.
It looks like this is an arming station, maybe for like a guard room.
Okay.
So as you're walking around, it's pretty easy to take the stock of this room.
Okay.
This looks like this is probably where you would put like, you know, advanced guard troops, something like that.
And is there none of that gets bare? There's none of that stuff in there, but there's. Like
Yeah,
a
it
slot
just
in
looks
the
like
wall.
that's. I mean, again, you can like
Yeah, you
walk
guess,
yourself
yeah.
through the process of putting
Yeah,
it all
totally,
in,
yeah.
and imagine 20 of you doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm to the door by the time he's done making
Sure.
his way through the room.
Sure. So you're going to this door,
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
there. I'm not even going in. I'm just watching him walk around the
and
room.
Arvin, where are you going?
I'll be with them.
Okay, Embers is still out here by this gate.
I go back out.
Okay.
Hey, Embers, what's going on?
Nothing. I just wanted to make sure I took a close look at it.
What does it seem to be to you?
I don't know. It's not my kind of magic, but there's definitely a presence here. You feel it too, right?
We've experienced the same sort of presence before.
I don't know anything about dwarven things. I can read all the sigils now, but I don't understand what it's trying to convey.
I mean, I've read the sigils before.
Sure.
It's just-
And I mean, these are just like, this is all like lineage stuff.
Yeah.
This is all just talking about the history, and everything gets written on, and everything has kind of like a recording. The same way, all these little floor tiles, they all have marks of hearth and home
Yeah.
that are telling you where you're at.
So, I mean, I would write down what's written on it because I
Sure.
fancy myself a historian
Sure.
to an extent. Then I'm continuing on to the next room.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to
And I'll
too.
go ahead and perceive that I'm not tripping off anything.
Go ahead and perceive. You have to perceive.
I
You
don't
just trip over
perceive. In
things.
fact, I rolled a 1.
All right.
Dude,
It's my Knight of Wands.
I'm going to perceive.
please perceive.
14.
Okay. No one has to make a roll to notice that there's a gigantic pit in the middle of the room. That is like well finished on all sides. It is definitely part of the floor. Like it looks like it's been here for a long time. It goes down as far as you can possibly imagine.
Okay.
Hmm.
And
Maybe
what's the stone?
What kind of stone is this all around the room?
No, I mean specifically on the
What is
pedestal.
this stone? That's
Yes.
a great question. That's a
Oh,
question that
there's
Sean
another
can't ask himself right now because again, we have this computer thingy. I was trying to get it into a better shot for you, but
Oh, that's good right there. Yeah.
there we go.
That works. Thanks.
All right, no problem. Sorry. So we've got this stone on a pedestal again. It's a blue spherical crystal.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over to it.
Hey, everybody who's everybody make a perception check.
I was going
This
to
is
ask, has it
unrelated to
been
the
Ah,
thing.
damn.
longer than 10 minutes since I cast Detect Magic?
It has been because
Okay.
we
Yeah,
spent an
sure.
hour.
Oh, that's right.
25.
25. Yeah, good stuff. Your ring that you are wearing on your finger is glowing gently.
Okay.
Did anybody else get really super high numbers there?
No, I got like a 9.
Okay, that's not super great.
No. I'm gonna. I
Have
wanna,
I ever seen this ring glow in reaction to something before?
Nope. This is new.
Huh.
I'm gonna go over to the pit and look above. Is there a? You said it's pit going down, but is there a corresponding passage going up?
That's a great question. So this room just has kind of like a gently vaulted ceiling, but there isn't anything that goes up.
Are there any
Guys.
mechanisms or anything? Cranks,
To
gears?
this, no, there really doesn't seem to be anything other than a pit.
Hmm.
Check it.
What's
My ring's
Yeah.
glowing.
Yeah, everybody can
Ah.
clearly see that now.
I'll go over to
Is your parapet glowing at all?
it. Is my cape glowing?
Nope.
Just my ring.
the significance of this?
Well, I think it has something to do with this stone here, which I'm.
Arvin is also giving off a very gentle glow on his armor.
We need to find out what this thing is.
Can
And I
you do that?
approach the stone as well.
Sure.
I want to examine it. Do the artificer thing on it.
Okay.
No artificer.
I mean, I'd like to also make a history check since this might have something to do with dwarfish
Go
history.
for it.
19.
And Aurora, pardon me, Embers is making an Arcana check. What's that?
19 on history check.
19 on
Origin.
history check.
Yeah, it's that
Um,
gnome thing.
Right.
Natural 20
Okay.
plus 2.
Yeah. Okay, so for you, it looks very much like dwarven artifacts you've seen so far before, so that part's not out of the ordinary at all. It's too much just a magic thing to really know much about, but this whole stone pedestal, everything like that, looks exactly like what you've seen in other rooms. Ember is looking at it. She has some ideas about it that she's not sharing at this time. Arvin, were you rolling anything?
Religion.
Religion
8.
does not seem to be some sort of divine effect. So this ball, as you approach it, first off to you, it seems very much like it's carrying. As you walk up to it, you have a very homey and comfortable feeling. This to you is not a scary or unusual magical effect. To you, it feels very calming and welcoming. As you get very close to it, there is a nebulous form that kind of spills out of the crystal and materializes, forming the shape of an elderly dwarven man, wearing again like a full set of plate armor, but not something that looks combat oriented as much as it looks ceremonial.
Okay.
He has a shield that is like heavily embossed with the picture of the anvil. So everything here really seems to be like the picture of a paladin or priest of Moradin, if you were to guess. And he stands here and just sort of nods his head gently to you, and then looks over to Arvin, nods his head gently at him. Doesn't pay any attention to you or Embers. Sister. Brother.
How are you called, friend?
Call me Var, which Silvers tells you that's a dwarvish word that means memory.
Var.
Var, you are the historian of these people?
I am the spirit of these people.
Do you recognize who I am?
I do not, sister. But the dwarves of Mordrukat, did I get that right? Yeah, there it is, Mardrukat, have passed on into history, and only I remain. Let me tell you now, the way is barred for your own safety. Do not seek further the ruins of Mardrukat.
What do you know of the darkness behind the gates?
Our people sought deeply in the earth for the greatest of treasures, for the most mysterious of secrets, trying to unlock all that was potential. Their creations outstripped them, and the city of Mardrukat fell to madness. Be especially wary of those things the dwarves brought to the surface under the name of friendship and creating peace in the lands, for those same weapons were turned against them, and they are not to be trusted. The last creations of the dwarves were weapons and instruments of war, and these same weapons were their destruction.
Var, there is a room not far from here, and I give a description of what the room looks like. It is guarded by a golem. Somebody has stolen something from that room. Do you know what it is?
In this room that you speak of, we kept one of the final artifacts in the hope that people would be able to study this source of power which wrought such madness and hardship amongst our people, and undo what we have done. Perhaps understand how our lands can be cleansed. The artifacts of the dwarves of Mardrukat all drew upon special gems found in the earth. These gems are incredibly powerful, but unstable. And the power they unleash is not for mortals. It leads to madness and darkness.
How far did this darkness spread underground, this madness?
I am but a memory of my people. The people of Mardrukat are all gone. The people of some of our sister cities are also affected. Talkazad is one of those. If you have come here searching for us, sister, then you know not all dwarvish things were intended bad, but the remains of our civilization are not to be trusted, especially the gems that were found so deep under the ground. They should not be used again.
Is this also one of the dangerous gems here, or is this simply what contains you?
Are you
Var?
pointing at this blue sphere?
Yeah.
One of the final acts of my people was to try to imprison a memory, retain a memory of our civilization. If you need to destroy this object, do so, but it is what binds my spirit to the earth.
I prefer not to destroy this object, but I would like to take it so that I can talk to you in the future.
My place is here in Mardrukat. I shall ever remain here.
Okay. then I have to stay here too for a while.
Do what you must. You don't wish to be free, you wish to remain.
I gave my life for this purpose. We must make sure that no one forgets the dangers that lie within our city.
Okay.
Wait, I just had an idea. This object, can I have silver, please?
You have silver
Thanks.
there. Hello.
Hi, Silver. If I touch you to this other object, can you get the history from it?
I want to find out. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to try.
Yes.
And I'm going to touch Silver to the stone.
Okay. Make a saving throw. This is a intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah, that may happen.
It's not good. 4.
Okay. Right.
Aurora is now silver.
No, but Aurora's unconscious.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That might have just been a giant memory.
There was like like this, and Aurora just fell straight on her back, holding Silver. Very uncat-like.
I knew that orb was evil.
Check on her. Let me check the orb. Let me touch the orb. Silver?
You're touching Silver?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. That sounds good. You have no reaction.
There's nothing there.
No, you got no reaction.
You there, Silver? Silver.
Did Var disappear also? I mean, I know I'm unconscious.
No, Var is actually still there.
Okay.
So, Var,
Yes.
do you know what just happened?
I don't.
I'm going to look at the blue crystal closer.
Okay, sure.
Does it look different than what it was before?
Looks very similar, if not exactly the same.
I'm going to touch the blue crystal
Okay,
and say, Silver, are you in there?
nothing. This blue crystal feels very warm when you touch it.
Is she okay?
I'm gonna make a medicine check.
Yeah.
Okay, so 21.
Yeah, she's not okay. She's passed out in some way, hard, and to you it seems like a magical effect.
I don't know if I can fix this right away.
What do you mean?
This is magic. Give me a moment.
Okay.
Cool. Let's call that our break. We'll take our break right here while you take a moment to think,
What do we do?
I melted Aurora's brain.
Yes, well, that's part of the fun. Okay, so join us soon on an Infinity Tower to find out what happens. 2, 1. Hey, we are back with more Infinity Tower. I guess I really don't want that to get louder right now. So let's go over our promos real quick. We have Ambient Realms that provides us with all of this excellent ambient sound and effects for games like do it. I push a button. Do what I said to do. No? Okay. Well, anyways, ambientrealms.com. Their stuff works much better when I don't set it up. But in general, they have sounds like... Alright, seriously guys. Come on. I think I broke the board. I will push other buttons for right now. And I will figure that out. There we go. There's always that. We can always get a shackle off when we really need it. I will work on this again in a moment and figure out what I did wrong. So in the meantime, our other sponsor is Arknight. So check them out at arknight.com. They do the flat plastic minis that look like this and also some very fine maps. So lots of good stuff there. This week's schedule we have tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Adrenochrome, which will feature Blades in the Dark. It's at 7 p.m. Watch us fight in that, well, not fight, but watch a band of rogues try to score things, whether that's they become assassins, whether they become magic arms dealers. I don't know until they've made their characters. It's a very character-driven game, so it's one of those things like when you run it, you can't really play it until you know who your characters are. Because if I set up like, oh, it's all these ghosts, and then nobody plays the thing that has ghosts, it's not going to be very fun for them.
Less good
So,
then, yep.
but it's a really cool game. Check it out. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. It'll be the first of a mini arc. Hopefully will be several chained arcs together.
Very cool. And then Thursday we have New Trippers with Scooter, and it's going to be at 6:30 p.m. So come check that out. If you have not already, they're playing Open Legend and are awesome. So please do take a look. Check us out at timetotabletop.com. Follow us on Twitch. Comment. Give us ideas. # Infinity Tower. And remember, there's no Infinity Tower next Tuesday, which is my fault. Everything else is like normal. So there is Adrenochrome and New Trippers next week, and then we go back to a normal schedule where everybody shows up. We've got some followers. If you want to follow us on Twitch, that's super awesome. We've got some subscribers. If you want to subscribe, also awesome. There are giveaways when you hit milestones for each of those. I would like to make a shout out to Crypt Monkey Games. Did I get that right? Crypt Monkey Studios, pardon me, for watching us. We appreciate that. That's always super awesome. So thanks for checking out the channel. And we are back to find out what happens when you touch a dwarven stone and go unconscious suddenly.
When you touch a translating device towards it to a
That's
dwarven
actually more
stone.
accurate. Is this touching a translating magical sentient item to a dwarven stone? What has happened? So Aurora's still lying there comatose.
Can I get the sphere out of her hands? Or is she like this with it?
It's pretty tight in there. Are you gonna really try at it?
No.
Okay. It does seem firmly grasped.
The only thing I can do is make her comfortable. I can't. This is beyond my abilities.
So you just throw her in the pit.
Well, there is this big pit.
You'll be
That
fine.
is an excellent point.
She can just use her reaction. Oh, darn it.
At this point, Embers does point out, Var, is there a reason there's a giant pit in this room? To which Var says, it is a safeguard, and also intended as a memory of our home deep under the ground.
So what's it safeguarding against?
It's not safeguarding against anything right now, but if something happens, there's a pit.
To throw things into or to crawl out of?
Probably first. Probably to throw things into.
Okay. Is there a bottom to it?
Not that I know of. So maybe we should take Aurora away from the pit so that she doesn't fall in or we don't fall in. It seems like kind of a precarious place to wait.
Okay.
Grab her under the armpits and
Yeah.
start taking her towards the hall.
Bye,
Yeah, you can
Var.
probably lift her up. She doesn't weigh that much.
So you lift her up. How about this room back here? Does that sound better?
Yeah. Sit down.
All right. So after a couple of minutes, Aurora comes back to consciousness. Aurora, your brain seems to have downloaded most of the information that was in that orb. So all the things that Var was just talking about and some additional information about this area, you seem to be pretty familiar with now. You don't have any idea how to get past that gate. Apparently that's not something you're supposed to do.
Okay.
You okay?
Yes, I am fine.
Fine, like, hey, let's get up and moving, or fine, hey, I'm still alive, but I need a break.
We can move. We can't go beyond that gate. It's not meant to be passed. Do I know more now about the object that she stole, by the way?
Yeah, it was definitely a weapon.
The thing that, what's her face?
Aelin.
Aelin stole is a weapon. That thing, though, just needs to stay where it is, right? Like,
Right. It's basically like a power cell that keeps the ghost around.
We should probably get moving and find Aelin.
Is there anything else that I feel like should be explored?
No, you do have a better idea of what these gems are they were talking about. Like, you have an idea of what they look like and how they're shaped. They're all like exactly that color of your water bottle. They're this like very like sickly green color and found deep under the earth. Let's see, what else have you found out about? You have some general information about Mardracot, most of which you already knew from the historical lore of your people. And then in terms of this room, it does seem like most of those passageways in the other side were all purposely collapsed at one point or the other, just because of the fact that the area is not safe,
Right.
nor is being underground safe. So anything that could like make contact with the lower kingdom is what they're trying to eliminate. So this is all like old guest passages and like guard chambers from above ground. This is what the dwarves would consider to be above ground in this case.
Yeah. But there's nothing else really to explore here.
And this pit is bottomless as far as you know.
Do you know what the weapon does?
Do I know what the weapon does?
You do know what the weapon does. It's like a rod that you would carry if you were a magic user, and it can probably vaporize whole swaths of people and things just by pointing at them.
It can vaporize objects, people, just by pointing it at them.
Wonderful. So our enemy is very powerful. She has a barrier that prevents us from finding her, and now she has a weapon of ultimate destruction.
Well, actually, the barrier makes it easy to find her because of the map.
We have to go all the way back to the tower.
Back to the tower for it.
But anyway, we should probably go back to the tower, but I don't advise opening a door to it within eyesight of that gate.
Fair enough. It's kind of creepy.
I don't think that whatever that is in there needs to know about that kind of magic.
Ember says, I also don't think Aelin took that barrier device with her. I think I can feel its magic working.
So she just put up the barrier somewhere in here?
I think it's above ground. But yeah,
Well, do you think we can find it?
I think I can.
Well,
Let's do that.
Okay, so you march back up to the surface.
well, there's nothing else to... Now I know for sure there's nothing else to find.
You know there's
down
no
here.
other way you're going to get down. The dwarves basically collapsed their entire civilization, so the only way through would be through that gate. And you are now imbued with a deep religious reverence for the idea of keeping that gate closed.
Right.
As to whether or not you decide to follow that, that's the impression you've been given.
Yeah.
As you reach back above the ground, going out through that main entranceway that you've previously entered through, which is kind of cut through the side of the mountain, Embers just kind of like makes a small circle, looks around. She starts coming up the side of the hill that the doorway is cut into. And as she does that, you notice that she just goes, maybe 100 paces and leans down and picks up, there's like a metal, what's the term I'm looking for? Like a spike with a large, cloudy, milky blue ball up above it. And she just reaches down, picks it out of the ground. I think this is what we're looking for.
Okay. As that was stolen from your church, or...
This was stolen from the other continent. How it made it over here is unknown to me.
This is one of the things that makes the other continent invisible.
We can't. Yeah.
So here's an interesting question. How am I going to get this through the tower?
Can the barrier be put inside of a bag of holding, or would that cause an explosion?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not trying that.
All right. I empty out my bag of holding. Which I don't have that much in it. Like, I have my old quarterstaff.
That's cool. That's worth an inspiration. I
Thanks.
want to see this happen. She's touched two magical objects to other magical objects with no idea what will happen tonight. That's worth an inspiration.
Thank you. Okay, so the Dwarven Medallion, the Medallion of High Seneschal, the 60 gold piece of gems, fancy Dwarven tool. And when she actually takes out the 60 gold piece of gems, she's like, oh, what are the... Here, and tosses that to you.
Okay.
The fancy Dwarven tools, her old quarterstaff, dragon books and scrolls, and her disguise kit
Yes.
are now all on the ground.
Yes, okay.
And I'm going to put that staff inside of the bag of holding.
Okay.
And then
it's,
kind of toss it away from me in
Yeah.
case it explodes.
it's like a spike, but you stick it in there and nothing happens.
Okay.
Even after you toss it away from you.
Okay. I'm going... Can you hand me back one gem?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to put the one gem into the bag of holding.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to get the one gem back out of the bag of holding.
Everything works.
Okay. Then I put my stuff back inside the bag of holding.
There you
And now I've got the Orby rod. I don't know how to describe it.
That's exactly what that is.
It's a barrier. You can call it a
spike
barrier
of
rod if you want to call it a barrier
Okay.
rod, or you can call it an Allurian barrier rod if you want to say Allurian as well.
Barrier rod. Parentheses. Allurian.
There you go. Very good.
Not to be confused with the other barrier rods. That are,
So, hey, you never know how many barrier rods are already
that is true, yes. There could be hundreds of barrier rods floating around.
All right, so now
Knowing Aurora, that sounds like something she'd like, right? Yeah, sure.
So now the inside of my bag cannot be scryed upon.
Yeah. Okay.
It's very possible.
Who knows? Anyway,
Okay. So we got the rod. We find out what was here.
Mm-hmm.
We know what she has.
Yep. The weapon of horrible destruction.
And we don't know where she is.
I wonder if that weapon would leave a magical fingerprint.
Maybe, yeah.
By the way, is Silver still dead, or is Silver...
You are getting no response at all from Silver.
Is Silver gone?
I don't know. I'm gonna put Silver in the bag.
I think we have a lot of questions that Faxtron's probably better for answering.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, might maybe start looking in the books for these weapons of mass destruction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm erasing the gems because I don't have them anymore.
Ember seems kind of
you
on
might
edge. Her tail is doing the thing where it's whipping back and forth a little bit.
What's going on? You sensing something else?
I don't like the idea of Aelin having a powerful weapon. It's first off not her style to go around trying to get into fights or things that would require a weapon. Second off, I mean, she could be anywhere. She left the barrier here on purpose. I really wonder why. I mean, is it just me, or is this whole thing feeling like a trap?
I mean, I think the whole thing's been a trap the whole time, but I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know why she'd want to trap us in the first place. I mean, what's this all supposed to mean?
You know better than we do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know what she's thinking.
I wonder if Silver's in my head right now. I try to think about Silver in my brain.
Nope. Normal cat stuff.
Okay.
Alright, should we go back to the tower then?
Yeah.
I can't think of. Yeah, we need more research. I think.
I'm going to try thinking of a door.
Okay.
I rolled a 17.
Yes, you thought of a door. The door has appeared in front of you.
Don't forget to add your wisdom modifier.
Oh, yes. 22.
Yes.
I mean, I know
You
it
thought of
worked
a door
anyway.
really hard.
Extra up here.
It's good. The door is
really
super
pretty.
there, and it smells like beeswax. It has its nice polish to it.
Has
Everything
a
looks
neon
fine.
sign that says door.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
And you go inside. Nothing blows up. It's always nice, right? Hey,
Yeah.
there's a sound.
Didn't realize that was a possibility.
It was, because I have the raw barrier rod.
Okay, so there's that. And now we need a tower. Maybe a 5? Let's go for 5. 5 sounds like a tower. So you're back in the tower.
Everything else okay?
Yeah, it looks like normal.
So, you seem to know a lot about this weapon now.
I know everything about that weapon now.
Okay. Do you know anything about the other weapons, the other gems?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So.
But all of those are still under the ground, right? Like, that was the only one that was brought up.
So
wasn't
your
it?
knowledge is that many of these weapons were destroyed or lost over time by the dwarves, and that's part of the problem, is a lot of their weapons got past the Tabaxi, and not all of them came back. But then, in addition to all these other things, a lot of the weapons that were underground were destroyed in direct combat with one another.
I don't think they ever gave the flamey, disintegrating things to a bunch of cats.
No, but see, again, the thing is there are a variety of these weapons powered by these gems, as far as you can tell. And the problem is that even if they were destroyed by like conflicting forces, like when the Tabaxi fought the other Tabaxi, the gems themselves don't seem to have been recovered.
Gotcha. Which means that my family probably has some.
I'm not saying anything for sure, but
Bump,
yeah.
bump. There are still some of these gems scattered about the surface.
So, if I cannot think of her name,
Aelin, bad lady.
the bad lady. So the bad lady knew about this. Why would she not know about the other ones? And she's collecting them for some reason. Like all
She
of them.
might be collecting them for a very specific person.
What person?
That's possible. That's definitely something Aelin would do if she had a buyer, someone who's willing to pay for this.
Yeah, I know who the buyer is.
Who's the buyer?
My father.
Embers is doing the tail
Why
swishing
would-
thing.
What?
What's understand the need for
If these
Superior
gems
mind.
were first distributed to the Tabaxi, they went to my family. My family was the only family that had to deal with these dwarves.
It wasn't with all Tabaxi, it was just with your family.
Yes, it's how we managed to reign over the others, and also why we were exiled to the far north later on.
so you were chiefs.
Hmm?
You were chiefs. I don't know how your structure is.
Oh, yes, well, that's because you're from a more primitive culture. We had a period, much like what you're experiencing now, of feudalism. My family ruled the Tabaxi during that period.
Oh,
Later on, when we were cut off from our dwarven technology, the other Tabaxi managed to take over the government and drive us to the north, and now we are forbidden from participating in the government, although we do still maintain our figurehead status so that we don't have a broken line of lineage, but it's meaningless. But because of that, we're not allowed to be in their government. Does that make any sense to you?
It does.
Okay. So technically speaking, there is still royalty. I am part of it, but it's just a word. It's just a title. It doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
And your father would be buying these items to bring back.
Well, number
family's
one,
rule.
to restore. He believes strongly in governmental reunification.
Which means what?
Which means, I'm guessing,
Conquest.
Something like that. He calls it a restoration.
To your family's former glory.
Well, the despoilers of the earth did not arrive when my family was in charge.
Wow.
So, if somebody is trying to collect
know about this? Is there anything else we should know?
well, I mean, the reason that I was researching dwarvish remains was to find these sorts of things for my father.
so
But I've decided since then that it's really a bad idea. And a lot of that has to do with Abbotess Whisper and also Grand Master Cypress, who you don't know,
a
honestly.
lot to take in.
Abbotess Whisper trained me in the ways of Key. And Grandmaster Cypress began the monastery in the first place. To teach Tabaxi the ways of peace, I suppose, if you will. But,
So-
yes, if my father gets such a thing, he will try to reunite the Tabaxi under himself, destroy all the despoilers of the earth. Those are sort of the two big things.
And he has the money to hire a super thief to.
I mean, I'm sure he has ways of finding it.
So there's going to be a civil war in the north as your father tries to assume control once again.
Well, the
Who
North
are these
is
despoilers of the
basically
earth?
united behind my father anyway. So there won't be a civil war in the North. The civil war will be amongst the Council of Cats, although if my father's making such a play, he must have allies within the Council already. The despoilers of the earth are you.
Whoa. You're saying that Tabaxi will come down and try to eradicate all of us.
Preferably the orcs first, but yes, also you.
We really need to find Aelin.
If she has someone who's buying these things, I wonder if she's going to collect them all or deliver them one at a time. If I had to guess, I would say she's collecting them all first.
But my father is convinced that the ancient dwarven technology is the way to reunite Trageria to once again, and I know that this is probably not a nice term, but to destroy the despoilers of the earth before they complete despoiling the earth. You have to understand that in our mythology, you're very bad people.
Okay.
It's simply because you don't live with nature. You just build things.
Yeah, I get it. The culture clash. Jeez. Yeah, I don't think the Union Arms is looking for another war. We are already preoccupied at the moment. So,
Ideally, I would think that we would let. My father will wait for the orcs and the humans to fight each other and have massive casualties and do most of the work for him before he does anything else. In fact, he might not plan on taking over the council first. He might plan on killing all of you first and have that prove to the council that he's a superior tabaxi to them.
right. So your father is liable to kill us on sight.
There is a word for yes. I mean, any tabaxi is likely to kill you on sight, unless we're in one of your towns making observations to determine whether to kill all of you.
You know, I thought gnomes were pretty violent, shooting off guns all the time. No, you get the medal for that.
We just goofing around. We're having a good time.
I kind of want to go home.
In our defense, our land was very peaceful before your people showed up. It was the Goliaths in the mountain, the Tabaxi in the forest, and the dwarves under the mountain.
Dwarves who were making weapons of mass destruction.
And killing themselves.
I would say it was more of a threat of mass destruction. But it was also for defending against people crossing the sea from Illyria, who are the great evil plague that will destroy Trageria. Once again, simply in our mythology.
I have a feeling those stories that you learned, maybe they aren't exactly how things happened. It doesn't seem like dwarves would just be going around making gigantic weapons that cause madness and make them kill each other just for fun.
No. I mean, the way that I've understood it is the weapons were for defense against the forces outside of Trageria.
And mentally now, you totally know that was not the case.
Okay.
And you saw it clearly as part of a dwarven effort to make the Tabaxi directed. In other words, they basically armed a very small portion of the Tabaxi with the goal of keeping the rest of them subservient.
Right. But now that I've got this information straight from the horse's mouth, that's not the case. That's just what we believed. The reality is they were just controlling our people.
But you said there's a prophecy that there would be people coming from over the seas?
That's what we believe. And that eventually they would lead to the downfall of the land.
Is this like a religious prophecy, or is this something that's written from some sort of like oracle?
It's written on the 9 trees of history.
I don't think I'll ever get to see it, but I want to see it. I don't think I'll ever get to see it, but I want to see it.
Is that embers or?
Everything is embers right now.
It's most specifically written on the 9th tree. The 9th tree is the tree of the future.
But it's a lie.
Apparently the trees of the past are a lie. Whether or not the tree of the future is a lie, or whether it was written just by one of my ancestors who didn't particularly like people. You do have to remember that humans showed up, started fighting the Goliaths up where my ancestors lived.
It's the barbarians, you mean, right? The Futurious people.
Futurious people, yes. It's not like they were originally from here either. That's why it was always funny to me when she would talk about native Tragerians. To me, all of you are not native.
Let's see the viewpoint on that. But, I was born here.
Yes.
My soil too.
How do I translate what my people call where you were born? It most directly translates to excrement town.
Ah. Well then, I think I've I think I've heard enough Tabaxi history.
It's the saltiest history, officially. Here we go.
So,
In the defense of my people, we were living in harmony with nature, and then people,
yeah,
your people showed up and
we
just
erected Pooh Town, and the rest is history.
If you learn to live with nature, no, my dad would still probably kill you.
Yeah, your dad doesn't sound like a nice guy.
I think he means well.
I think lots of people
But
who
now
get
that
power
I-
start out
Well,
meaning well.
But now I know that he was also directly deceived, or my ancestors were deceived by the dwarves into oppressing our own people.
Aurora. Ember says, "Can I have silver?"
Yes. I take him out of the bag.
Thank you. She takes it and goes upstairs.
I'm sorry, all this probably sounds really bad.
It's just a lot to take in.
Like I said, it's a primitive system that most of us don't believe in anymore.
Except your dad, who wants to destroy everybody that's not a
and
cat.
come back to power and establish.
Yes.
Make-
Anybody that's not a cat, a dwarf, or a Goliath.
Yeah, that
Well,
can't
for
happen.
He calls it restoring the original kingdom.
How long has your father been wanting to do this?
Well, I mean, that's what he was raised to do.
So there will be no changing his mind.
It's pretty unlikely.
What can you do to change anybody else's mind now that you have this knowledge? Can you speak
I mean,
to the rest of the Tabaxi? Let them know.
if I could find... I don't know what goes on at the Council of Cats because my family's forbidden from the council. So this might be things that they already know. I don't know. My brother, who was supposed to be the, I believe the official title is God Emperor of all things, to exist now, in the past, or in the future. He rejected that and he's off to sea.
Good for him.
But my father very specifically named my brother after the original God Emperor, in the belief that he could force the prophecy along.
No, you said that your father means well, but your father can never ever come back into power.
Yes.
The suffering that would ensue is... I would do everything that I could to stop him.
You have to understand, he wouldn't want anybody to suffer. He just wants them to die.
It's mighty nice.
The two might not be interchangeable in many instances, but yeah, that is not a choice that people want to make willingly. I think people would rather meet their end by their own choosing rather than somebody else's choosing. So
your people would rather commit suicide.
if that means fighting against your father with very powerful weapons, then yes, we would fight him with everything that we had. Even if that meant the end of us, because there's nowhere else.
That's true. Like I said, I don't agree with my father's plans, but I also think I might be the only person, or Tabaxi, that can talk him out of his plans.
Let's do that. I would rather not be forced to do things to your father if we ever met him.
But if he is the buyer, at least we know where Elend is going eventually. And he might have things to offer her in exchange.
If you can't convince your father not to commit genocide, we're gonna have to go and find these things on our own.
Yes.
And collect them up.
I should explain that my father does not consider it genocide because he does not view us as being the same species. It's more of a mass extinction.
Sure. Okay.
Pest control, perhaps.
Yes.
I get it.
I've heard that talk before. It's the same thing.
A pest that needs to be exterminated anyways. It's not
Also,
us.
like I've said before, his opinions are not even particularly popular amongst my household. So I don't think that you should hold it against all Tabaxi, the things that my
Oh, no.
father believes.
No, not at all. Not at all.
My sister Dawn very much agrees with him, though.
And your mother?
Hmm?
Your mother?
Well, my mother loves him.
So she.
Yes. She believes that she would bear the prophesied's leader with him. Like I said, unfortunately, the one that they thought would be the prophesied leader is away at sea right now. So he's doing his own amount to stop prophecies, I suppose. Of course, then Dawn's trying to replace him, so.
So
But that's.
does your
her
father
problem.
have followers that agree with this? That you
Yes. Many.
know? Does your brother have followers himself?
Well, he doesn't believe in followers.
Sure.
Let's
It's not taken.
Yes. Well, it's why I've always been very curious as to how your people regard nobility.
it's become a thing of the past for us. As, at least according to the history books, we used to have nobles, and though some still carry that title, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
The gnomes certainly have nobles. I've met them.
Not really of rich people, but it's not.
They don't occupy. They cannot field armies anymore. We're not reliant upon them for government. It's more of a what's the word? Anachronism, right?
Oh, okay. I thought that you had nobles for some reason.
We do, but
Okay.
they're just not. They're not the ruling class anymore. They like to think they are. But
Right. Because I remember that one gnome we met. He was really quite insistent.
quite full of himself too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So-
would agree with that assessment. Quite full of himself.
Like I've said, yes. I don't think my father's trying to bring about the end of the world, just the end of your species.
So what's your goal in all of this?
I don't know. I've been making up my mind about it. I can see positive things about humans, and I can see some very negative things about humans.
Sure. I mean, the same thing we say about gnomes and tieflings and
Yes.
tabaxi.
Same thing could be said for all species, except for orcs. They need to be exterminated.
See, now take that logic and apply it to humans.
We are not orcs.
But in my father's eyes, you're the same thing.
Perhaps your father should meet some orcs and then decide what is the best.
We have seen the orcs. We call them the green despoilers of Earth.
I don't necessarily agree with him. I understand where you're coming from. Trust me. But
That's okay.
I can't imagine, I can't believe everyone's an entire race of people is just bad. I can't believe that.
Well, it's very much what my father believes.
Well, I can certainly believe an individual is bad.
His opinion about the gnomes, well, we were pronouncing it gnomes because we didn't know about how to pronounce it, but is that you could be useful. So there's that.
Yeah. Would be very useful.
And yeah, I don't think he knows about tieflings at all. Huh. See, this is the problem with what the dwarves did. They gave an idiot cat the belief that they had God-given power.
Again, that's sort of the path of all despots, right?
I suppose. Nevertheless, I don't think it can be argued that humans do destroy the world everywhere they go. But I think that they could be taught to be better.
So for everyone. We're wasting time. Should we consult Faxburn?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I have a lot to think about.
I would like to repeat, please don't kill all the Tabaxi if that's the path you decide on. It's really just my dad and his followers.
No, and I will make that clear if things come to light to
Okay.
my commanders. Besides, I don't think all Tabaxi are going to fall lockstep behind your father. So,
No, I would think that if I know my father, and I know the way he thinks, and keep in mind he's a lot smarter than I am about tactics, but he would make a major show of force first before
And that would be impressive or scary or both.
both. But if you can get these magic items that used to keep all the Tabaxi in line, it can be used to bring them in line again.
people who rule by fear and brutality are not meant to rule, and they do not deserve the title of king.
Here. I think our only goal, I mean, if you cannot, there's no way to convince your father not to follow his path. The only thing we can do is find the other objects first and collect them up so he doesn't have them. Take away the power that he's seeking before he can get it.
But we don't know where they are.
Well, we've got a library.
Okay.
And we've got whatever is in your head now.
All I know from, correct me if I'm wrong about this, all I know is that they were brought up to the surface, that they were given to Tabaxi, and that they are, that's it. Don't know anything beyond that.
Yeah, if you want to talk about any specifics that might have happened historically between the dwarves, what you know about is the dwarven civilization of Mardukot now.
Yeah. And all I know is that they brought them to the surface.
Yeah, they don't know what happened after they were brought to the surface.
I think it stands to reason that my father probably already has a few of them.
Would he be the kind of despot to is he smart enough to wait and collect power, or is he just itching to just try his power out?
If he's hired her to get this particular object, he's going to wait till he has it.
We need to find her.
Yeah.
And not tomorrow, we need to find her now.
Oh.
Well, we should probably talk to Faxburn. So maybe it's a whole conversation we should have had in front of him. Now I think about it. Oh well. Yeah. Hey Faxburn, are you decent?
Yes, I'm in the library.
Great, we'll meet you there.
After you.
Okay, we head to the library.
I'll go to the library, where there's all those nice big tables and the large bookshelves and the skeleton of the red dragon above. Faxburn is sitting by the table pretty much where you all left, when you left before, after talking to Silver and so forth. And he has several books out in front of him, and Embers is there as well. And it looks like they've been talking about something where Embers now turns around as she sees you all and just kind of nods a little bit, but her tail is whipping just a little bit behind her.
Hi.
Faxburn is holding Silver, and he puts him down on the table, and he says, "So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the translator. Its power seems to be temporarily drained, but I believe it will come back over time."
Okay. I touched it to,
Embers told me.
okay.
But again, it doesn't seem to be a lasting effect. There still is an enchantment to it. Its mind is temporarily misplaced. Perhaps its power is drained.
It did work as a conduit that I got all of the information that was contained inside it. Did she tell you it was called Var?
No, I didn't know. So it sounded like we had a sentient object and another sentient object that touched and had some sort of reaction.
Yes.
Right.
So, we were discussing who the likely buyer of the objects that Elend is collecting would be.
Yeah, so you think you have an idea of Aelin's buyer? You think you have an idea of who Aelin might be selling these things
Yes,
to?
I think she'd be selling them to my father. He's the only person, well, the only creature I can think of that would want them.
So Ember's
Who would
made-
know about them to ask for them in the first place and then covet them?
All right. Well, Ember's made some mention of the idea that these things are powered by some sort of magical stone that comes from below the ground.
Yes.
I have no idea what that could be. It doesn't sound like something naturally occurring at all. It sounds like something, for lack of a better word, I'll say primordial.
Yes. Well, whatever this thing is that she stole, it's like a hyper-concentrated version of it. They kept it around for means of study.
It's some sort of intense magical essence, is what I learned.
Yes. And perhaps it could be used to reactivate the other stones that have gone dead since then. I'm not certain. I know that the stones were given to my ancestors, and what my ancestors did with them was not shared with me.
And were they given in the form of raw stones, or were they given as worked artifacts?
They were given in the form of weapons.
There's something definitely at work here, but I have no idea what these stones might be.
Right. But the weapons that we were given also had stopped working a long time ago. So my thought is, if this thing is what powers them, it could be used to bring them back to life.
Have you seen these things yourself? Is this basically an oral account, or are you hearing what you've heard from your father or from others?
I know what, number one, my ancestors talk about having had in order to rule over the other tabaxi, and now I have the information from the dwarves as well that such things were given to my ancestors.
I wonder how these objects are losing their power. If this is something finite, or if there's something else going on. You know, like again, maybe it's like silver, putting two items together, maybe they've lost their connection.
Right.
Mm.
So my thought is either my father's a secretive man about several things. One of those things being where magical weapons would be kept, for instance, and his desire to repower them. All I know is that my father has a desperate urge to cleanse Trageria of both the humans and the orcs.
Arvin, Theophraxis, these aren't things that exist other places in the world that you've seen. You have no idea what these magical items are. Without some sort of sample or some sort of idea of how these things work, I don't know how to track them.
The only place that I can think of that they would be where I'm from. And I can certainly try to go back and find one.
So you found them in this dwarven... It was basically an example left in this dwarven ruin.
Right. And it can be used to disintegrate buildings, people, armies.
That does not sound like something you want in the hands of anyone.
No, but it does sound very similar to the weapons that my ancestors used to rule over Trageria in the past.
This is my stuff for
Okay.
my people I'm controlling. Ember says, did they say they had the same sort of weapons in Tol-Kazad?
Yes, they said Tol-Kazad was one of the places that such things had been stored. I don't know if there are some other ones that got downloaded into my head too.
You know, you've heard of Tol-Kazad as a dwarven civilization, Mordrakot, and then one more which I'm going to come up with a name for later.
Okay. There were 3 great dwarven civilizations in Trageria. They all shared technology and they all collapsed under mysterious circumstances at the same
And
time.
if you were to look at them on a map, they formed like kind of like a V shape,
Yeah.
so that one was in the very far north of Trageria. The one that's near the Tabaxi Council, Mordrakot, is pretty much like the center, and then Tol-Kazad's down here.
Right.
So there's almost like a little arrow shape that also
Right.
runs along that mountain range. It's at the western border of the Flamewells.
Right. So it's all along the Flamewells, the northernmost civilization. If she has already gone to Tol-Kazad and if she's already gone to Mordrakot, then chances are she's heading to the northernmost one next, if she hasn't been there
Do you think she's
already.
been to Tol-Kazad?
And she might not have been to Tol-Kazad yet. But we don't know
Tools.
what was in Tol-Kazad other than we never went into the chamber of the dead.
It's the King's Tomb.
Yes, although that hole that the Duragar come out of might be where.
Something is.
If the Duragar are dwarves that were corrupted by the power of these things. Part of the theory of why my ancestors were white to begin with is, number one, the belief that we were birthed from a planted fang of a white dragon. That's the fanciful version of the story. But the other is that we became white-furred because of our contact with the items from below the earth.
Interesting.
So Ember says, so we know if there were dwarven ruins in Tol-Kazad, and you know how to get to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were ruins in Mardrakat, and we know we can't get to them.
Right.
And then there's a third place.
Yeah, which I have a name for later, when we really need that. But are there still dwarves in Tol-Kazad?
There are still dwarves in Tol-Kazad, and there are corrupted dwarves there too called Duragar.
Corrupted dwarves.
They're different skins. They are blue-skinned. They seem to be evil, as the other ones are good.
So I'm thinking, if they're dwarves and they're evil, do they come from the same place?
They come from a hole that leads somewhere deeper in the earth. But if that's where these crystals are coming from, is a hole deep within the earth.
So you see what I'm thinking about? That maybe Tol-Kazad and those other dwarves, maybe that's something we can explore? Because I don't have any idea where to look for Ayla next.
I have no other ideas myself.
Well, then let's head to Tol-Kazad.
Yeah. Can we get a door right next to that hole?
I don't know.
Faction says, well, you've been there, yes?
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to help you with that.
I don't think we want it right next to the hole because then the Durgar are going to see the door open.
Yes, how safe is that?
We would want to project into some of the ruins nearby the hole. And I'll give a description of the ruins.
I'll probably need your assistance to open a door.
Okay.
Specifically there.
I have opened a door there before myself.
That shouldn't be very hard then.
Should we maybe talk with the dwarves that are there, see if they have any more information they can give us before we go in?
I would think that if they had access to these crystals, they wouldn't have a Duragar problem anymore.
Embers is, leaning back and her chin swishing. Though they're the only dwarves we're going to get a chance to talk to, right?
Right. I mean, we might as well talk to them, sure. Well, let's go. Yes? I am very sorry that my father wants to kill all of your people.
You don't need to apologize.
I just want you to understand that that's not the way that I think of you.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's good to know.
I can understand where your father comes from. I know what it is to hate.
Okay.
So,
Going to Tol-Kazad.
you travel to Tol-Kazad. You are in the ruins. Now, this is very different than the last time the two of you were there. A lot of the area that is close to the bridge has been cleared out. You can see there's a lot of stonework that's been just basically dismantled. There's a rude wall that's been made now, and there are actually some new stone buildings that have been put up, and the dwarves of Tol-Kazad are living comfortably in these buildings where they have proper homes. They're not living in ruins anymore.
Are there lights?
There are lights. They're very gentle lights, and they seem to be from the natural fungus in the area, which, if you recall, had some psychotropic, possibly causing psychic power properties, but also gave off light. They do seem to be in glass globes, though, rather than being out raw.
Yeah.
And Riss is just looking around, kind of back and forth. It's different.
It's definitely an improvement from last time.
Yeah.
Well, let's speak to Karam. Karam?
Karum.
Karam.
Yep. So you find Karum. He is inside one of the houses. He has a younger dwarf lady and man that are like coming through, and they've apparently cleaned up the house. They're preparing what looks like a meal. And when he sees you come in, he's very, smiling and open. Come in, come in. And he sees Embers, and there's a moment of panic across his face, but she's, hello. And everybody here, did you decide you were going to speak Dwarven when you were holding Silver? You are the only one who has no idea what's going on. That's cool. All right. I have food. Feel free to eat. They brought some of the McBrewer's beer as well, so we have fine Dwarven beer.
I'll have some beer. I don't know if they have any
Drink.
meat, or if it's
Right.
just like purely mushrooms.
Yes, there's meat. And, he finds you some meat. Cave fish. Tastes like other fish.
Yep.
Okay.
Fish is
So,
fish.
and he's got food and food.
Oh, man, thank you very much.
Embers
This
gets
is lovely.
food, and Embers is sitting there eating quietly.
This is an improvement. You've been working.
Well, the humans have been quite a help. They're really making things quite a bit easier here. They've been helping us both with the building and also with defending the city. We don't see nearly as many Duergar. Did Aurora tell you from her visit just, yesterday?
Mm-mm. Didn't know she was here.
Oh,
Yeah, I came here to kill some Duragar. I was upset.
good on you.
Did you kill many?
Oh, yes.
So, you're back again.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
excellent.
I think we want to explore the whole.
The whole.
The pit.
We believe there's a powerful thief heading this way. That she might be interested in something down in the pit.
All right.
We were just recently in Mardrikot.
Marjoricot.
Yes, Mardrikot. And I, through a long story, gained the information of those people. I believe that this thief is looking for technology given to your people by those in Mardrikot.
Interesting. I don't know anything about that.
It's basically some sort of it's a crystal mine from deep within the earth. I believe that if we went into that hole, we might find such things. It would certainly explain the Duergar's existence.
I've told you before that when I spoke with my father, when I learned the history of our people, they told me our civilization had been swallowed by a force from below. I wonder what that means now. I always thought it meant the Duergar.
I believe that it means these particular crystals. It's what destroyed Mardrikot.
There was a room here. There was a gate, and there's evil presence behind it.
Crypt of the Kings.
There was a similar place in Madrigal.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And let's see, yeah, oh, my character knows that. And it seems like those gates were specifically put in place to keep that evil from getting out.
That's right. At one point, our people used to make efforts to see if they could enter those gates and learn more about what had caused the downfall of our civilization, but they don't try that anymore. It's too dangerous. There have been too many deaths.
Well, yeah, we tried to go in once and it didn't go very far.
Even merely approaching could be the death of you.
So, I mean, that would be it sounds like that would be whatever wiped you out, but doesn't necessarily explain the cause. Where this came from in the first place. I mean, it's there, but where did it come from? Why is it there?
And unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that.
But we're thinking that maybe these crystals have something to do with it, and that maybe that hole that the Duergar seem very, very interested in keeping has something to do with it.
Duergar definitely well up from under the ground.
Right? I mean, that's where we're going.
I mean, that's my working theory. I mean, this is a very large ruined city. It could be, if she's coming here, it could be anything, but my guess would be the Duergar found whatever it is a long time ago.
So Ember's sitting back here and her tail's twitching. How does Aelin know where these magical devices are?
Does your father know where they are?
I don't think he would. I don't think he'd be hiring somebody else to find them.
Does she
I
have?
think he would just come here directly if he knew and just take them.
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
But
Does
I think that he has to be honest, my father would have to remain in his home in the north anyway. Like, there are eyes on him. So he could be the one telling her where to look.
Is your father a scholar of Dwarven history?
I am a scholar of Dwarven history, and I've shared a lot of information with him.
Did you know where these things were?
No, but he might have been asking other people too.
This is my Embers pose, by the way. You can see
Yeah.
this is me being Embers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, she's clearly doing it on the picture. So.
But
I'm
he
just
also...
wondering- Go ahead.
No, please.
Just wondering if there was a book on this in the tower or something else where she would know where to look for these things. It doesn't seem right. I mean, Faxford didn't seem to have any idea what we were talking about. I talked to him about it for a while.
Right. Well, does this thief have the resources to hunt this stuff down? I mean, if she were given a hint of, oh, there is a magic item out there, and it's, you know, in this area, and go find it. Does she have enough resources at her disposal to do that?
Maybe, but this seems really specific.
I mean, it might not be my father.
The main thing I wanted to find here is, are those Duergar these same dwarves? And has something happened to them that makes them, like, evil and magic?
Oh, there are the mushrooms. Mushrooms, right? The mushrooms.
Yeah, but the mushrooms don't seem to cause whatever the Duergar are. Otherwise, Tally would be blue.
Ah, yeah, good point. I think maybe taking a quick exploration down that hole, if it's possible, is a good idea.
Let's go.
Maybe that's where the Duergar are coming from, unless we want to scour the surface. I mean,
No, I think that the most likely thing is down that hole.
We don't have that much time to spend on this either way. We've got to find things quick.
Yep, let's go. We need bold action.
Okay, let's do a group stealth check to
Okay.
achieve the goal of reaching the thing. I, by the way, am not contributing to this stealth check in a powerful way. So, Embers is putting on her clomping boots. Did you do really good? 2 20s?
Because I have disadvantage.
Yes.
I rolled a 1.
Only a 1? Okay, you had to be really worried for a second there. Thought somehow you'd like roll a negative 1 or something. That was-
21, so I'm bringing it back up.
That's nice. Is it a natural 20?
No, it's a natural 13,
Yeah.
but my stealth is a natural 8, so...
It's good. It's real good.
21.
You done good.
17.
17. So the unfortunate thing is that Embers and Arvin do not do well enough to... They basically shoot all your successes down.
Hey guys, am I being quiet enough? Guys!
Well,
Guys!
the problem with him also is
Hey!
he can't see in the dark,
Yeah.
and the light is a dead giveaway that he's there.
I can't see you!
So there's issues trying to reach the hole.
Put that thing out.
What?
To get very close to the point where you can see this crater where there's like this raised lip. And as Aurora found before, in recent times there's definitely been a pitched battle here because now there are bodies and there are like embankments where people have been fighting. You know, you see a lot of signs of direct hand-to-hand fighting in this area. But now you get almost to the point of the lip. Like you can see it's only about 50 feet away. And as you get there, right up to the edge, you start to see a Duergar patrol, and they definitely know you're there.
I'm gonna fight him right now.
Alright.
Should we just go for the hole?
Oh, I guess we can dash to the hole too, but
Either way,
aren't they gonna alert everything that's down in the hole?
well, let's find out. I just roll initiative.
Okay.
Thank you for dashing for the hole.
It's up to you guys. You don't have to dash for the hole. You can do whatever.
I got a
initiative.
7 on my initiatives.
Well, I did better than you. Not by a lot.
18.
18. Okay.
I have an 11.
11. All right. So 18 is first. Theophraxis, what are you doing?
Are we going for the hole or are we fighting?
It's your initiative. You're probably going to have to decide that.
I'm asking. Fighting or dashing?
I mean, Aurora's all geared up to fight. You can see that. How big is the patrol?
It is 7 people.
Yeah, I'm definitely fighting.
You see regular Duergar wearing their armor. You see Duergar wearing robes that seem like they might be magic users.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's.
Alright, I'm gonna use my longbow.
Okay.
Longbow. I'll take 2 shots at the closest rogue figure.
Closest robed figure. Very good. Go ahead.
The first shot.
Don't mind all these dragons and death trees.
Do you have some bigger Duergar?
I'm working on it. Yep.
Embiggen! I can't read.
Okay, guys. And by the way, we're at 30 minutes.
Hello, Ambient Realms, by the way.
Yes. Is Emmy Realms in the chat?
Yeah, Ambient Realms said hello.
Hey, Mark. Hope you're doing good.
Alright, so I'm gonna take a yeah, I'll just do sharpshooter on both.
This is going to be the edge of the pit here.
The black tile's the edge of
The
the
black
pit.
tile is the pit now.
Okay. Where are we and where are they?
I'm working on that as we speak.
Okay.
The stealthy people are up here in the front. And I said 50 feet, so we'll do that. Okay, Theophraxis, what are we doing?
Okay, so I use sharpshooter on both shots.
Okay, the
And
other gray guy is the other spellcaster, by the way.
And after taking the -5 out, I got a 23 on the first shot and a 13 on the second shot.
They both hit.
Awesome.
Is this on the same dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever looks like a spellcaster.
Yeah, these two guys in the front are both robed and not wearing weapons.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. 16. Jeez, lousy rolls. 31 total.
31 total damage. Okay, that is a large number of damage. They are unhappy with being damaged, so this guy's down.
Oh,
Nice.
how many people did you hit?
Just the one guy.
Oh,
This is going to be a building over here.
sure.
Well, you can tell that's a building for sure then.
Yeah.
Okay, and I dropped that.
How many action surges do we get one? Not a whole lot on it.
It's one for short rest.
Yeah. Oh, rebel. Can I maneuver towards the rebel?
You can move this far.
Sure.
Okay. Blue. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay, cool. Who's up next? You
Oh,
were at-
I was at 11.
all right, so Embers is up next. She turns, puts both hands out.
At least I got one shot in, right?
Yeah, this is for you, Allison. Fireball. Okay, I'm making one saving throw because I feel like that's fair. Okay, unfortunately they all made it. So, as a massive ball of fire is unleashed upon them and starts like licking up the sides of the ruins, all the dwarves, they hold up their shields and they like throw back their cloaks. So they've absorbed some of the damage from this fireball, but they're all still up. Alright, that's my part. Move off this way a little bit, and Aurora's turn.
Okay. How far are they from me right now?
60 feet is the closest one.
60 feet is the closest one.
Yep.
Okay. Just thinking. 60. I'll move up to them at tabaxi speed. Screw it. You can put me like right between these two.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hit one of them with my magic quarterstaff.
Magic quarterstaff.
Yeah. That definitely hit because that's 26.
Okay. Yep.
And so that is, I'm using it two-handed, so I just went in with it.
Cool.
28. And that is for 8 points of damage.
Nice. Okay. Sizable damage. This is still the one that's armored or not armored?
Huh?
This is to armored guy or not armored guy?
Not armored guy.
Not armored guy it is.
Okay. And I'm gonna whack at him again.
Sure.
And that hits, I'm pretty sure, because it's 22.
Yep. Cool.
7 points of damage.
Oh, now he's dead.
Cool.
Take out the spellcasters.
That's fine. It's not like they were going to do anything cool anyways.
Yeah. Are both the spellcasters dead
They
now?
are both dead. now.
Sweet.
We're gonna be looting those guys later.
I am going to spend a key point to dodge.
Okay. Cool. You are now dodging. Okay. Next up in initiative, Arvin, where are you at?
9.
Yep. You're up now.
Okay. Where's the laser?
Laser pointer. Is that right? Metal tube.
Aha! That thing. So I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on that guy.
That guy gets Sacred Flame. Okay.
DC 16
Nope.
for 15 points of damage.
Nice.
He is gone.
Just lightning.
These guys apparently are not going to survive very long. Are you moving anywhere?
Yeah, move me up. There we go.
Yeah, cool. Okay, some Duergar. Well, you know what they really want to do.
Do they want to embiggen?
They sure do. So that's going to be round 1, or action 1. That's their bonusing. You know what? I never go full embiggen on you guys, so we're just going with that. Yeah, it's totally legit. I think that's definitely the move they would want. Okay, 1,
Like half their party is dead in the first second.
2, and this one's going to start like an end run around this way. Okay, so
Oh, shit, that one.
Aurora is dodging, so their advantage becomes disadvantage, becomes normal.
Right.
So first attack on Aurora, whose armor class is
19.
That's cocked either way. No. Second attack. No. Okay, attack on Arvin, whose armor class is
19.
Yes. Okay, and
19.
and you take 14 points of damage as this giant war pit comes crashing down and hits into your shoulder. Even with your shield up, it still crashes down over you. Okay. Okay. Next up, Theophraxis.
I'm gonna shoot. Take a shot at that guy
Okay.
with the bow. Do sharpshooter.
Yep.
Ooh, no. Looks like a 9 on that guy.
That's not so great.
Okay, I'll take another shot at him. 15.
15. No, still not very good. Sorry.
Okay. I will move over to keep going towards the rubble. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, you now have partial cover.
Awesome.
They don't have any ranged weapons. I guess they can throw a javelin at you if they wanted to, but they're probably not going to. Okay, so that's your round.
Yeah.
Embers.
You know what? No, I'm gonna use my action surge
Okay, go for it.
to take your shot.
Totally on board with that.
I'm not gonna do sharpshooter on the first shot.
Okay.
Thank God, because it's a 1. Natural
Okay.
1.
All right, so the natural 1 misses.
And then I'm not gonna do it on the second shot.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey, 20.
Yes, that'll hit.
Oh, did you take the sharpshooter feat?
I hate you
Dude.
all. All of you suck.
Hey, I just rolled a 2 and a 1 on my damage.
tonight?
I know I did not.
Well, that's
I
why I
should
asked.
have.
You should have.
Yeah, they're not feeling
threatening
right.
these things. Yeah, right. 5.
5.
That was
Embers
worth
loves her
action
fireballs.
All right, I have logged the 5. It is logged. Yeah, so sorry, Aurora, but we know you're going to make a save.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and save against
It's
her
the
spell
fireball
save
hat.
DC,
Huh?
if you want to go ahead and save against her spell DC,
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I'm not really giving a choice. It's
I mean, I don't have the thing yet that causes me to take no damage. I'll still take
no, I know. It's important to fireball though.
What's the DC?
14.
Oh yeah, I got 18. So
Yeah.
I'm good.
So you're only taking half damage from this fireball.
Yeah!
But you know what? Embers once it's done with,
I know.
like all times in combat.
It is not even remotely the first time she's dropped a fireball on me.
No, and it will never be the last. Okay, so 29 points of damage half, so you take 14 points of damage. Okay, and for the rest of the group, oh, they all save. They also take 14 points of damage, but you know what? That kills them all. They are roasted to death.
That just
I know
makes
it's
me a
like
little
not very fun, but I am playing Allison's character exactly the way Allison would play it.
Yeah.
Just never get tired of that, Embers. I'll move that tabaxi speed back to you. Hey.
Okay, so I'll just take that one.
Okay.
So
Arthur can handle it. He had it covered.
9,
I'm
and
gonna
you
go,
heal.
I'm gonna go up to what's
16.
left of the
Alright, I'm back up to full.
the robed figures.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is there anything that looks magical?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
16.
Yep, you found a potion on one of them.
Cool, I'll take that. What is that?
I don't know. It's a potion of some kind.
Hey, do you know what this is? Anyone? Anyone?
Potion.
Okay. Hey, I'll write down potion.
Yep, sounds like a good idea. It's very accurate.
That will go into my. Does it look like the healing potion that I have?
Nope.
The potion of dwarf or giant strength that I have?
No.
The potion of climbing that I have?
Oh, like a
Damn.
potion of toenail growth or something.
Oh, that's cool. I want that.
Hey, you're immune to disease right now, so just, take a sip.
It's a
Find out
very
what it
good
do.
plan. I like this plan.
Why don't you try it? You're bold of action and quick of doing
Great
things.
point.
Well, give me the thing.
The potion? Here.
And the other thing.
What other thing?
The thing that prevents disease. But this is a big thing of disease.
I would like to point out that poison is different from disease, so perhaps we shouldn't be
And
drinking
fireballs and
strange
lightning
things that we
bolts
find
and-
on dead
Yeah, I'll just
dwarves.
hold on to it. Mystery. Mystery.
I mean, just like a drop of it wouldn't kill me.
Only one way to find out.
Do you really want to do it for fun?
I'm gonna unplug it and take a smell.
Does not smell like poison.
It doesn't smell like poison.
And what does poison smell like?
I don't know, bad.
Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. Have you not smelled poison before? What's wrong?
Yeah, you pick
I
up all
failed
lots
as
of
a
poison.
healer.
That's right. You better go smell some
failed
poison.
healer, you.
Isn't it?
I'm just gonna put it in the bag of holding. We'll figure it out later.
That's fine.
All right. Mystery potion from Deep Dwarf. Put that on spell do worker.
All right, I guess we're going down the hole.
Yeah, very quickly. All right, down the hole.
Okay.
Is it just like a steep drop off, or is there like a stairwell down?
Yeah, what's it look like?
There is like a ragged edge of stone and like burrowed out earth. So this is like going into a giant anthill.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that. Are we gonna stealth after letting loose 2 fireballs?
I don't know if that's even possible after letting loose 2 fireballs. That was a decision Embers made, so
You know what? Embers would make the same decision every
I
time.
know.
Well, when you got the fire, you gotta use it, right?
That is exactly what I think Allison would say at this point.
Does it look like there are there are little landings that one could land on if one was to start jumping down it?
Oh yeah, you could totally jump down this faster if you want to jump down this faster. This is like the reverse of going up the hill.
Cool. I'm gonna use that a movable rod to aid with my acrobatic jumping from one thing to the next.
Go ahead and make an acrobatics with advantage check. If you guys were doing this, what you're basically doing is that you're going into the caldera of a volcano. That's
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
want to think about how this is looking.
Okay.
You're descending down through these like stone ledges and down these piles of dirt. But there's very well-worn paths where these Duergar have been
I
getting.
rolled 2 5s, so it's a 13.
Okay, you're still figuring out how this whole rod thing works, and at one point you almost wrench your shoulder out trying to hold onto it while you push the button.
Alright.
But otherwise, you're okay.
Okay.
You know, just you need some icy hot later. So you
Just
continue.
stumble down the embankment.
Yeah, I mean, there are some pretty well-worn paths. and
Okay,
it's pretty
follow the
clear
path.
where like military formations have walked, but you're walking into the earth.
Alright.
It's getting colder. It's getting darker, and you start getting like that sensation of palpable. It's almost like you're being watched at all times. There's
Okay.
something going on, and you can feel like a presence as you go further into the earth.
Alright. I'm just gonna keep. I'm going like way faster than them, right? Because I'm like jumping from one thing to the other.
Sure. And if you had to guess by this point, you've probably gone 200 feet down. And you guys are probably half that.
Just keep going. I mean, is there anything unusual other than the embankment? I mean, is there, I don't know, big green glowing crystals growing out of the side of the?
Now that you mention it, there's not. No big green glowing crystals, but that was a good guess.
Just to make sure.
I'm just going down till
But
I.
you're making your way down.
Is there any of
Like-
that fungus, or am I just going down blind?
No fungus.
Okay.
You are going down blind.
Maybe you're holding on to Ember's tail or something.
That's fine.
You've got the thing that does light.
You
Yeah.
totally have a thing that does light, or two.
I don't want to give away our presence, though.
So you're holding on to Embers, probably not onto her tail because she probably wouldn't like that, but you can like keep your hand on her shoulder.
Just keep going until we get to the bottom.
And just keep it going.
Yeah.
And as you continue down into this pit, like reaching further and further near the ground, it starts to level out. And you start getting to the point where there's like now branching passageways. So it's more like you're going down into a natural cavern system.
I'm gonna explore one of the passageways before I get there. I'm gonna stealth into it.
Sure. One of the things you notice is that there seems to be, go ahead and make the roll, some natural bioluminescence from this.
Okay.
There are more fungi. They're not the same kind as you were seeing up above, but they're like shell fungi that are coming out. And they all have like an odd purplish glow to them.
My stealth is a 21.
Okay, you're stealthy. So as you're moving along, you're seeing long passageways, corridors. There's definitely footprints and like the leavings behind of military formations moving, patrols, and so forth. Some of the holes look like they were made by like earth sharks or things like that. Would we say they were
Earth cows.
Earth cows. Yep, one of those things you never take back in a game.
Got earth cows. We have the despoilers of land. You know.
It's a very descriptive language to Baxi. That's why Silver enjoys it so much. So you're moving further and further into the ground. And you start seeing, instead of like a purplish glow, you start seeing a yellowish glow in the distance. You know, again, very much like your new memories of that dwarvish stone.
Okay.
It's faint. It's very faint, but I mean, for you, it's enough.
Okay.
You are now reaching the bottom where you see these branching corridors and you start seeing these purplish shell fungi. So you can see better.
Do I recognize them?
No, they really don't look like something you've seen on the surface before, and they don't look like a normal like surface cave fungi. This is pretty far down. Are you going to taste them? Just making sure that's not coming up next. So.
I kind of do.
Well, you can always stick it in the bag of holding for later
Well,
when
I've
there's
got
medical
the-
staff on standby.
That's a good plan. I've got the that disease thing.
You guys are gonna make such good use of that. That's so awesome. Oh me oh my.
I don't recognize the mushroom at all. All right, I'll break off a little piece
Okay, you don't get a lot of bioluminescence as high up as you are compared to this.
and I'll put it in the bag of holding.
You just
Okay.
chop it up and snort it.
Yeah.
I'll do
What
lines
could
of
go
it
wrong?
later.
And then you turn blue.
That'd be great.
So go ahead and make a perception check at this point, you guys.
Yeah, your turn.
19.
Aurora or Embers is the best at perceiving everything.
23.
Yeah, Embers is better than that.
Damn.
But just because she rolled, a
I'm
natural
sure I'm
20.
already past the point of this perception.
The point is that they're perceiving the fact that you are perceiving that very faintish, yellowish, sickly light in the distance. And there's points, and you can see vaguely what she's pointing at. And Armin, the good news is it's light, so you can kind of tell there is a yellowish smudge in the distance.
Light. I'm going towards that.
Because where's the light?
I like light.
So you all start moving in that direction. Are you being stealthy still?
Yeah, I'm still being stealthy.
So as you get up close,
Maybe
you're
stealthy.
at the edge of like a natural cave that has a depression. It goes down lower into a chamber. And in this chamber, there is a shrine that's a really simple, like a stone spire. It looks like it's like a stalactite that's just been chopped off. And there is sitting on it a skull. And in that skull, in the mouth of the skull, there is a faintly glowing, rough-cut, greenish-yellow gem.
Okay. Now that I'm near that, I'm going to move at tabaxi speed. I'm going to dash, and I'm going to spend a key point to dash.
So what you're saying is you're moving 4 times your normal speed.
That is correct.
All right.
So I am moving at 180.
Yes, okay, so with your speed of 180, you're going to...
Go up to the skull and take the crystal.
You're taking the crystal just directly from the skull.
Well, I'm going to take the skull.
Okay, so you're going to take the skull with the crystal in it.
Yeah.
Let's do this first. Let's roll initiative.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
17.
17.
Are we all rolling this or just?
You guys are, well, she's going to be able to move like 400 feet this second,
Yeah.
or this 6 seconds here, so I don't really have any idea why you would be able to do anything in this round.
Except,
But go ahead and roll.
Except shoot the longbow.
Yeah,
That's
you
a range of 12.
You could probably shoot a longbow or a rifle. Go for it.
Well, I can only move at the tabaxi speed once before I, like, hole up and, you know,
Okay.
wait one round.
Uh,
I can still do this
12.
double dash trick.
All right, cool.
9.
9, sweet. Okay, so you're up.
Okay. Well, I'm running to the skull.
And you grab the skull. You're holding it. Now what?
Yeah. I put it into my bag of holding and keep moving.
And where are you moving?
Just does running straight forward get me to another thing, like another tunnel out?
In this like quick second that you're looking around, there are other branching passageways in that direction. Yes, you
Then
can
I'm
go
heading
forward.
towards one of those.
Awesome. Okay, so you keep going forward and you're running down the hallway on the opposite side, and you start seeing ahead of you some sort of spirit
Okay,
ahead of you.
that's upsetting.
Yes.
Is it a dwarvish spirit?
Yes, it does look vaguely dwarvish. It also looks incorporeal. And
Okay.
it's spreading its arms out and coming directly at you.
Hi, I don't mean any harm, but I'm trying to stop an apocalypse.
And its mouth just starts opening up.
Okay, I'm gonna go the other way.
Right. Okay, so yeah, you've probably still got about 200 feet of movement at this point.
Okay.
I mean, right? No, what was your actual movement? In
No,
total?
my actual movement is 45
Okay.
normally, so a
90,
dash.
You have 180. That was the actual
So wait,
movement.
okay, so I'm
like,
going
multiplying
at
them.
double that, so it's 90.
Yeah.
And then I'm dashing, so that's doubled again, so 180. So yeah, 360 altogether.
Right. So you probably still have 200 feet of movement.
Okay,
It's
great.
ridiculous.
I go basically right back the way I can.
As Aurora starts running past you all. Hey,
What just happened? What happened to the light? Was that Aurora?
I got it.
This is a ridiculously broken rule that we are definitely using from now on. It's great. Aurora's the Flash. Now you guys know what it feels like to be Batman when you're hanging out with the Flash.
Oh, crap.
Wait, what do you mean you got it? What? Are we done? Are we leaving?
In the direction Aurora just came from, you start seeing a slightly sickly green spirit floating towards you all. Arms outstretched, mouth looks long and angry.
From far away. That's like 60 feet away.
Oh yeah, it's still far away, but this is now where you have time to act, because now it's your initiative.
Oh. Follow the cat. Full on dash.
Full on dash. You start running and scrambling up the side of this hole. Okay, you're up next.
Light.
Okay, right?
That's my action. It takes a full action to do light.
You can
still
move
move.
too.
Oh, I can still move?
Still move.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm out.
You can't dash, but you can move.
Hey, I'm not gonna tell you to play the game too much, but anyway, strategy-wise, in the future, you could use the gem as a bonus action.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
see, but that's
I'm still
okay.
getting used to the gem.
That's okay. You just got this gem. But hey, enjoy your one move action.
Okay.
That's cool. Hey, you're almost as fast as Theophrax is rolling one move action. Embers looks, turns around, starts running. So here's how we're gonna do this. Since Aurora has to stay still for one whole round now, it's gonna even it out.
If I want to move it to Baxi speed.
Oh,
I'd
that's
still
right. You
move
won't-
at
That's right. You
45
can just move
regardless.
normally, can't
Yeah.
you? And you could still spend all your points on dashing. Okay, so let's do this. We are gonna make
She's out of the hole. It's
we're just gonna make a contested roll right now, which is gonna be athletics.
Okay.
And Aurora gets to roll with advantage because of the fact that she's moving at ungodly speeds.
Okay.
Oh, I should roll for Embers. Okay, Embers did not succeed.
19.
Okay, that's a success.
24.
Yep.
14.
Okay, yeah, that's your with advantage roll.
I rolled 2 15s and my athletics is a -1.
All right, awesome. So you guys are carrying the group right now, luckily, so that's good. You guys did good. So it's a net 0, and I did not succeed with the other guy. So you guys stayed ahead. Let's do one more contested roll.
Okay.
Oh.
Embers.
Well, that was better.
Okay, cool.
I got a 13.
I got a 13.
I got a 17.
I got a rock.
So you got one success that time. So now you actually fell slightly back, and the creature, because it doesn't need to worry about climbing up the wall, just starts floating up the hole, and it's getting fairly close at this point. Next round, it will be in combat with you, depending on the result of this.
So he's in the dollop from the 80s, is what you're saying.
And by the way, we have 8 minutes till session close.
Yes!
Ooh, much better.
21.
19.
Okay.
14 again.
And you guys managed to just stay far enough away that you were able to get to the top of the crater. So now what?
I mean, that thing's still coming, right?
Still coming.
Take the door.
No.
No.
I'm not going to let this thing loose.
From way up ahead of you, I'm like, do you have spirit fighting thingies? Sky?
I do, actually.
All right, so this is a combat round. So
Okay.
let's go for this. We're going to go in
Aurora
initiative
just
order. So
keeps
yeah,
running.
does Aurora just keep running? Is that your mission here?
No, I'll stop running.
Okay.
It's just.
So you got this one round if you want to throw something in. It's time. You're up first.
Oh, I'm up first?
Yeah?
There's like a spirit that's really quite far away from me right
Yes,
now, right?
that's right. Very
I'm just gonna stop
Okay, cool.
and not move this round so that I have to backseat speed back.
Hey, and you could dodge too.
I could dodge. I will take the dodge action,
There you go. Cool. Okay, Theophraxis.
but not move.
Got it.
I'm gonna move back away from the evil thing, and I will hold my action, I guess.
Oh, I'm also giving Arvin a thumbs up.
Unless until if the spirit attacks or if the spirit gets within a threatening distance of anyone in my party, I will shoot.
Cool.
I'm approaching within 30 feet,
Yes.
and I am holding forward my symbol of Palor.
Yes.
Spirit, go back down to the darkness from whence you came.
So this is channel divinity, correct?
Yes, it's channel
Alright.
divinity.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's a wisdom save.
All right, let me make sure I got all my stuff here.
Take that, evil spirit.
Okay.
I want to go.
No.
60 feet.
The spirit moves back and just starts floating down the hole while looking at you with utter malevolence.
Go blood, go blood, go blood.
Yeah, good stuff.
Do a little dance.
We started in January. It's now August, and this is the first time I have turned undead.
Yeah, you did try it once, but it wasn't successful.
Did I?
Yeah, you've done it
Yeah,
one other
that's
time
right.
unsuccessfully.
That's right.
But this
I'm
one
a
worked
moron.
quite well.
Yeah.
Okay. Ta-da.
Didn't work.
So,
It worked.
all right, what's up next?
Get the little
5
fans
minutes,
out.
guys.
Yay.
We're gonna go back to the tower because now I got one of these things. The whole point was to get a thing to show it to Faxburn so we could find the other things.
Yeah,
So we'll go back to the tower, right?
I'm down with that. Yeah.
We're out of eyesight of the ghost and various Duragar, right?
Yep. You've made it back to the tower.
The
fastest leaping jump.
Apparently, when you can run 360 feet, it's okay, right? So, this game is not in any way broken by this thing. You know what?
They pretty much made tabaxis to be monks.
It's
I mean,
okay. Embers just like throws fireballs all day. Everybody has their thing. Theophraxis has an unlimited number of bullets.
No, actually, I've got
No.
76 left. I've been very
I totally
diligent with
believe
the
you.
bullets.
Yes, a dash with a bonus dash is very fast when one is a
77.
monk to begin with and can move at a tabaxi speed.
Sounds good to me. All right, you've arrived back at the tower.
Okay, let's go show backstory.
Vaxburn, we got one of the crystals.
That's excellent. Bring it up to my study. In fact, do you know where the laboratory is?
The laboratory? Wait, the
No.
laboratory?
Yes. Embers, can you show them where the laboratory is, the enchantment laboratory?
I wanna go.
Yes, bring the skull with you. Stone with you. He
Okay.
doesn't know about the skull.
He doesn't know about the skull.
Doesn't know
Skull's
about
a
the skull.
surprise.
So you show up in a room that looks like it's intended for enchantment. It's a very large stone room. All the shelves are very far back and so forth, but it looks like there's a lot of alembics and important components over on the sides. I think this might be a safer place to do anything.
This place is amazing.
The tower's amazing.
You know, now that I think about it, where you're from isn't Excrement Town, it's Scar City.
Scar City.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We just fish it out of the back of holding.
Yeah, reach in. Excuse me.
Yes, because it's a scar upon the face of the earth.
Macabre, yes,
Oh.
excellent. All right, and he puts it down on the ground. I'm going to do this in a way that's a little bit more elaborate, but much safer, and it will take some time.
Okay.
I imagine it'll take about a day.
I got time.
I got time.
Hey, Arvin,
Yeah.
or you think to yourself, oh, what time is it? You probably have about 4 hours
Mm-hmm.
before you're supposed to be on patrol.
Yep. Companions, I wish you a safe journeys. I have an obligation that I have to meet.
Where are you going?
I have to find a way over Flamewell Mountains. Over, not under.
Okay.
I will be back, hopefully, within a matter of weeks.
Okay. I guess.
It's a military thing.
Are you going to kill a bunch of orcs?
Hopefully. We find our way over, and our second objective is to take out as many as we can.
Okay.
I do have to go.
This is going to take some time anyways. Make sure you have this by yourself.
I do.
All right. So we are closing the session here with Arvin heading off to lead the military forces on their mission across the Flamewells, and with everyone else waiting to see what Vaxburn's results may be in deciphering this crystal. So when we see you guys next, you audience people, it's gonna be 2 weeks. We're gonna miss next week, which is entirely my fault again, and then we're gonna be back the following week, which is not the 8th but the 17th. No, 15th. Let's say 15th because that makes sense with math. So we'll be back on the 15th with more Infinity Tower, where we will find out what the heck is going on with some of these things.
Yeah.
And if not, then we'll at least still have fun and somebody will run it back to speed. That's pretty much a given, right? Yep, so the 15th is our next game. We hope to see you all there, and thank you all for being here as usual. We're not going to see Will for a couple weeks, but that's just because he's super cool and super busy, so we'll see when he comes back. And next week, or next game, we're hoping that Allison is playing her own character, because otherwise I'll do other terrible things with her. Okay, cool. Make sure you guys make time to tabletop. There's always time to tabletop, and is it time to tabletop yet?